I want to welcome everyone to episode 6, I think, of the What Saves Me podcast. Today I have a guest I'm very excited about, and I'm going to let him introduce himself in a minute, but first I just want to say, lads, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, whatever you're watching on, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching the clips on TikTok as well, give us a follow, and give Alan a follow as well.
Appreciate you, lads.
Alan, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I suppose I'm better known as Man on a Munchin online. I do food reviews, TikToks, days in life, all that kind of general stuff. Should be way fatter than what I am for some reason. I'm out to kind of getting away with that. I'm Alan O'Mahony, and it's my first time doing a podcast, so I'm a bit nervous.
Is it your first podcast?
You know what? I started a podcast, but before I did any social media and all that, before I did any TikToks and stuff, I don't know what we were going to. We'll make it. No, it's not like a sad stop or anything like that. But basically, I was watching podcasts, all that kind of stuff. COVID came along, and I said, there's fucking... Before COVID, I was like, anxiety, all this kind of thing. I was like, that doesn't fucking exist at all. Not that it doesn't exist, but I was like, sure, it's way more manageable. Like, the way I sat down and met you outside, we just talk, you know what I mean? Like, I have no problem, I'm sociable. And then COVID, the lockdowns, all this kind of shit came in. Excuse my language, I know.
You can swear away, don't worry.
Fair enough, but when all that came in, I was like, I got a pang of anxiety by that. I never experienced before. Like, if I was driving to work, there were times where I felt like the car was nearly closing in on me. I was like, what the?
Do you think, you know what, that's interesting you say that, because I had one day of that during COVID, right? It was like the first day when I was like, I'm going to die, all my family's going to die.
Yeah, everyone's gone.
For about 8 hours I had an existential crisis. Do you think that's what it was? Do you think you're faced with your own mortality?
It's a small bit, but I feel like it was more so, this wasn't like at the very start, this was more like 5 months into lockdown, I'd say, a bit long, not long into it, but a good few months in. And just, again, like, I had a small little girl and all this kind of stuff. There was the mortality thing, but it was more so just not actually interacting with people. I was like, this is weird. Then I'd see something like, it got to the point where if I went into my mum and dad's gaff, I'd be like, oh Jesus, I hope to God no, they don't ask me about Callies, whatever. Or if they have a follow-on question, I'm like, what way of answer that? Whereas before, it was like, well, this thing, fucking relax. Like, you know, like, like, he has too much to talk about. So I was like, alright, whatever. I knew that I wouldn't want to go to a doctor and be like, here, take this tablet because this is what will help you with your anxiety. I've seen people do that, and it works for some people. I just know, for me personally, with my own problems that I've had throughout the years, whatever, that I was just like, definitely can't be going asking for a drug, go here, I need this. Didn't want to be dependent on it, and so I was like, put yourself out of your comfort zone. So I got on to Steve there. Well, I started it myself. It was real life chicken rolls and shitty holes.
What was it?
Real life chicken rolls and shitty holes. So basically, just talk about your life. The concept for me was like, alright, if I, like at the time TikTok was kind of new. Remember when TikTok came out first, it was like a dance app and all this.
I wasn't on. I only downloaded TikTok last year.
What the fuck? How do you man?
I might have had the app for a few months, but never went on it. I thought it was for children, to be honest. Like, I thought it was like, it's all like,
that's crazy.
Kids dancing and
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, it was, to be fair.
I don't particularly, as an adult man, want that stuff on my phone. Like.
That's fair. Well, look, I love watching kids dancing. Fucking, I was going to say something there, definitely get me cancelled. But no, like, basically it came out first, and it was, I had the same kind of thought process and stuff. I was like, I like coming out my window like, step in the morning, all these kind of, you know, songs and all this kind of crack. I was like, it's not for me. But as it progressed, people started using it more so like they are today. Like it's just like another social media app. And when I was doing the podcast, Laura turned around to me, like the concept basically was like, eat a breakfast roll, or not a breakfast roll, a chicken roll with someone to kind of break the ice a small bit basically.
Yeah.
And then do some sort of a review on that. No, saying this, I wasn't on TikTok. I wasn't looking at other people's.
So was this just like on YouTube?
This was just on YouTube, and it was Spotify actually. It was actually.
So was this like your first ever?
I never did any social media. Well, I had like Instagram or
Facebook, but
like,
you hadn't been like content creating or anything.
No, I did nothing like that at all before this. So, but that was shit. It worked. Well, it wasn't shit. It worked for me. It did what I wanted it to do. Like I kind of got over that little bit of anxiety and that I only had a few
episodes. By putting yourself out there.
I put myself out there and just going, Jesus. Like I sat down and I interviewed fucking No, I know people call this it. Would you want this to be your claim to fame? But I sat down and interviewed Ian Bailey before he passed
That's
away.
a good one.
It was
Weird Fiend, like.
Weird Fiend definitely did it 100%. You know, I'll say
That's
that.
right.
On
You
the
know
record,
what?
by-
And like I know now, right? Like you're pretty big now, right? But like to be kind of a stranger at the time and new to it, it kind of says a lot about the man that he was willing to jump on and talk about it straight away.
Oh, he would. Do you know what though? I can't. I thought when I got onto him first, I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "This is never gonna happen. There's no way would he sit down and talk to me about anything." And then he said yes, like straight
And
away.
I'd say that brought your anxiety back.
Oh, brother, did it what? I was like, he said yeah. I was there. I was like, I can't believe it. This would be the big break. And then I was like, fucking. I was like, do I even want to go and sit down and talk to this fella? Like, you know, I was like, is this something that you want hanging over you or whatever? Like, and then the more I thought, I was like, fuck it. Look, I literally made contact with this guy. I kind of have to do it now. So I went down and met him, and what I can say, we can get into it, get in more depth there later, but like 100% by when I was sitting down looking at this man in the eye, like I was like, oh, 100% he did it. Like, you know what I mean?
Really?
I swear to God, I just got this feeling. No, saying that he was after about 4 small bottles of wine and eating his dinner and all that before we started
Did you go
chat.
to his gaff?
I didn't go to his gaff. I met him in a pub about, I don't know, it was about 10 minutes away from his gaff. I'd say 10-15 minutes.
Down west.
Down west, down the road towards Skibbereen, kind of Blarney area. Not 100% sure. But where was it again, mate?
Bantry, I'd say.
Or Bantry, not Blarney, yeah, Bantry. But it was off Bantry though. It was a good 15 minutes past Bantry again. Beautiful area where it was
God's country.
But 100%, but there was no doubt in my mind. I was like,
I always thought he didn't do it.
No, he definitely did. I literally sat down across him, looked him in the eye. I asked him the question, and do you know what it was? I asked him the question, like, you know.
Did you do it?
Yeah, basically, like, as in, I fucking played with his balls a little bit before, and, like, you know, chatted away, you know, whatever. And then, about halfway through the episode, I was like, in my own head, again, you the picture, like, I was like, how'd you ask a fella if he murdered someone? You know what I mean? Like, respectfully. So I was like, alright, I'm just going to say it. Like, here, like, you know, there's so many different stories and all this. So I was like, I didn't really know what to believe. I was like, it happened. I was a year old when it happened. You know what I mean? I was born in 95. He was 96. I was told. Now, I before I say anything here, like, this is all speculation, like, you know, wives' tales and yeah, all the tales and all that. But it's like there was this thing, it was a guard was involved, there was that.
That's what I like. My thinking. I was only talking to someone about it last week, right? We were on about it, right? My thinking was, it was some fucking muck savage who'd probably never seen a woman that he wasn't related to in his life, of a guard from fucking the back end of Leitrim somewhere, stationed down there, and seen her and got a bit of obsession. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't know, but I'm just saying, from sitting across the table from the man, we were no further than what we're sitting across from each other now. When I asked the question, I was like, there's been so much speculation around it. I was like, and with the utmost respect or whatever, like, to Sophie, yourself, the situation, I was like, did you do it? And he's turning and he was like, oh, I did not. You know, very boisterous kind of personality and all that. Or boisterous might not be the right word, but kind of out there, like, you know, and like he denied it point blank straight away. There was no hesitation in his denial, but just the feeling, man. You know, when you're looking at someone in the eye, man, and you're like I have 2 kids, I have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. They liked me at least 7 times a day each of them. Like, you know, like,
you know when someone's lying, like
this. Like, it was not that it's that obvious when a 4, like, as to when a
it's
4,
a bit different with Ian Bailey, like, you can't really be like, stick out your tongue.
Yeah,
you know?
But no, I just got that vibe. I was like, oh, 100%. Even when I was driving away, I was like, I can't believe I just sat down and recorded a conversation with a murderer. You know what I mean?
Do you know what the only thing is? Do you know, like, if he did do it, right? If he did do it, right? Like, the cops here must be fucking brutal.
Oh,
because he went nowhere.
Nowhere.
He went, and he done all the shit as well, of like that you see on the telly. He'll go on back to the scene of the crime and all this and that. Like, he put himself on a plate. That's the only reason why. He was like, if he did it, like, he's confident. You know what I mean? He's a confident dude. Like,
we'll put it this way, alright, John. when if you watch like like Sky Atlantic had the Netflix had the thing and all
Yeah,
that.
it was like he's like the Cork fucking OJ.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, but like put it this way, alright. He said that he had scratches on his arms or on his face or wherever it was from chopping off a turkey's head or.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
But like. What the fuck are you talking about? For the fucking. I'm sorry, but like that was the deciding factor for me when I turned around and I said to him, was, "What's it like getting scrawled in the face by a turkey's talon?" And he was like, didn't really know what to say to that either. Then I was like, these are all the things you were saying. It wasn't a
It looks
defensive
pure
mark.
obvious, like.
A defense mark though, like it was clear she was scrawling at him by poor God rest her soul. I don't know. I felt so sad by it. Genuinely, when I was leaving the conversation, I was like, that was actually upsetting. Yeah, but I was like, no, it was. But yeah, that was a bit. Jeez, we really went off the subject there. But yeah, with the social media thing, like that's where I actually started. It was like I started with a podcast. Then it was What's the Crack with Alan O'Mahony. And as I was doing that, Laura was like,
"Was that like another podcast?"
That was so. Wait, no. So I was Real Life Chicken Rolls, Shitty Holes, and that was basically talk about my life, talk about chicken rolls, shitty holes. I love my kids, but it was just Callie was so young.
Yeah.
I thought it was a funny kind of thing,
Nappies
whatever.
Stuff, yeah.
And I just wanted to create something and just put it out there again to get over myself. And get over myself, put myself out there, get over yourself by that. But anyway, that was that. Then Laura was like, people that are on TikTok there are like the fucking, I know the fella loves me obviously, but like Richie or like Conor Ryan, all these fellas, like they were like putting out food content on TikTok. I, again, like yourself, like up to last year, this is years ago obviously, but I didn't have TikTok. I was barely on Facebook and Instagram, and Laura was like, you're using the wrong fucking platform.
The wrong
she was
tools, like, yeah.
You're not even videoing yourself, like you're already putting it through Spotify, and she understood obviously, because like it's not like she wasn't part of the conversation. I was saying, here, look, I'm fucking feeling mad anxious and shit like that, put myself up, but she was like, if you're going to do it and you're doing it with food related, people want to see the food, people want to see where you're going all out. So she was like, why not just make a TikTok? So you can thank Laura. A lot of you, for the ones that hate me and the ones that love me, it was Laura that was the one that was like, this is where you should do, this is the avenue you should go down. So as a guy, fair enough, tried that, and literally from the very first video, like, again, here, look, guys, let's call a spade as well. It's not like I'm Mr. Worldwide fucking Pitbull there, like, or anything like that. At 40,000 followers or close to it. But like, for me, that's just like, I
think that's massive.
Oh, here, that's what I'm saying. I'm not taking away, but the other way, it's like comparison is the thief of joy kind of thing. It's not like I won't leave it steal from my accomplishment. I'm very proud of it. And like, it's a weird thing to be proud of, because like you're kind of like, oh, it's just because people like you. You know what I mean? But it's making the content.
But there's people out there who find you interesting, and there's people who get entertainment out of it. I think it's a big thing, especially today, where there's so much fucking competition as well. And that's the thing as well. Like, I don't watch food reviews because, number one, it either makes me hungry.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm constantly in a battle against trying not to eat takeaways.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I find TikTok really I don't watch a lot of TikTok.
Yeah, it's very addictive.
The only the odd time if I'd have a scroll through if I'm taking a shit, to be honest, right?
So you're sitting there watching me as you're dropping the kids off.
But I'd say you're probably one of the only food reviewer people I follow. And to be honest, it's not because I have any interest in what you're eating. It's kind of if I like the person's personality, if I think they're funny. Because really, like, if I'm looking to go somewhere to eat with you all or something, I'll have a look on TikTok and I'll see who's been there.
Yeah.
Whereas rather than like, I'm not being smart, but like, I don't need to watch someone eat dinos.
No, that's fair as well. I completely understand that.
What was it like because there's so many of them out there, is like there's a bit of healthy competition between you, like, is there?
Yeah, you could say that. Like, the way I look at it, look, fucking the internet is huge. You know what I mean? Like, so there's not. You can look at it in a sense. I'd be more. Fuck's sake, it's not like I'm in the fitness industry, but like, like I'd be more so in competition with myself. Yeah. So the way I look at it, again, it's not like you can say that like from a personal trainer's point of view, where they're like, well, next rep, whatever. But the way I look at it is like, I just want to make content. Hopefully, it goes out to tens of thousands of people. Sometimes I might go out to 20,000. You know what I mean? Like, because then I posted last night a video that I thought was going to do well or whatever, I know that it hasn't done well, but like 20,000 people is loads of people. That's
It is, but it's mad the audience the food has.
Oh, it's crazy
right?
because like last week I posted and it's 250,000 people have seen the video, like, you know, and it's.
Do you know what? That's actually the one thing, right, that can annoy me about TikTok, right? Because like why I got on TikTok was, to bring awareness around men's mental health, suicide awareness, addiction, substances, all that, right? And you know, fair play, millennial dad, like he sent me a text when I first started, and he was like, "Come here, I like the stuff you're doing," and he gave me a few pointers, which is why I was asking about healthy competition.
Yeah.
Because when I came on, people were actually texting me and being like really
Nice.
supportive
Oh,
and shit.
that's
But he said to me,
my outlook as well there, like, you know,
He-
be support rather than drag a fella down. Sorry for
he
talking
goes,
over.
"No, but here, grand." He goes, "You need to do a few videos you do eating or reviewing food," and I was like, "Believe me, there's no one wants to see me eating, like, you know what I mean?"
Turkey tea.
He said 100%, you know. He said that they're the only thing. That's where I get most of my traction. People give me shit about me teeth.
yeah, I'm only saying
Yeah,
it 'cause
this is
I'm
more of an
I know,
outlet.
yeah, I'm only saying it because I'm comfortable with you.
The rest of them are right about that.
Fuck.
He was like, they are the videos that gets the hits.
Yeah.
And I was like, I found it hard to believe, but I was out in KC's, and again, not a big fan of KC's either. But I said I'd do a review on the mozzarella dippers. And it fucking blew
Blows
up.
up.
And I was like, here's me then, like, almost in tears talking about fucking suicide awareness and mental health, putting my soul out on the internet, and it gets 8 views.
Yeah.
And then, like, the first one, it was like my first big
cheap code,
video, got like 35,000 views.
Yeah, cheat code.
Do you watch, right? I was looking at a video. Tell me what you think of this. They were saying that there should be some sort of, it should be regulated, people reviewing food.
Regulated in what sense, like?
So it came from the thing, right, over in the States. Yelp was the first big one, I think. And I remember South Park done a piss take episode of it where it's like, I'm a Yelp reviewer, and they're walking into restaurants.
Oh, and everyone's shitting it.
And everyone's shitting it, right? And they're saying, like, should you need to have some sort of culinary experience? What do you think of that?
I think it's a lot of bollocks, to be honest with you. Like, the way I look at it, look, I never put myself. Do you know what? I've said this in multiple videos over the last 3.5, 4 years. I've not gone to culinary art school. I've worked in restaurants. Like, I've worked in like fucking the cafe and Debenhams in town. I've worked in other restaurants as well, like in the food industry. So like I've been understanding, like, you know, like what is it, like HACCP,
Yeah,
and all that, like, you know, like
HACCP and all that jazz,
exactly,
yeah.
the health side of things and all that. But in terms of like me cooking your steak, I can make a lovely steak. I can cook a beautiful steak at home. But like I'm not going to go and be like, come eat my steak. This is the thing. I still have taste buds, you know, like, so like that's the way I look at it. Is like, and as well as that, it depends on the person. If you're going to be honest, I won't name other, no, I know I have already, but like I want, like, whatever, like there's been places gone on to me and they've been like, how's it going? I won't name restaurants either, but like they've been like, how's it going? Would you come into us and do a review? We love the content. La da 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 da. They'd be go, we'll give you, like, they literally just offered up. They'd be like, we'll give you €350. We'll give you €400.
Yeah,
Like, that's fucking unreal. But then they're like, but we want you to give us like
a good review.
fucking 8.7. And the way I look at it, then I go, oh, quite happily take your money. As in, why wouldn't I be stupid not to? But the way I look at it is like, I could do that, but I'm not. You can't tell me what to score the
Yeah,
food. I was like,
100%,
the way I
yeah.
look at it is like, if there's somebody, there could be a single dad, right? 2 kids. He's on the dole. He lost his job, down his luck. Good fella. And he's on his last 50 quid for the week. He's to get petrol, and he promised his kids that he was going to get a bit of grub on Saturday. And then he goes, all right, I got me €20 petrol, I have €30 left out of my 50. I'm going to go and get fucking Mr. Kebab, whatever, you know, like, because Munchin's after saying, oh, buys this right here is unbelievable. But at the other side of it, I'm after being paid €350 to say this is the nice thing ever. Your man goes up, gets a shit muncher, the last of his money for the week, and he was just trying to be a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, and
I'm just going to put out a disclaimer as well. The Mr. Kebab is a serious kebab. We're only using as
oh
an
yeah,
example.
that's just an example.
I
That's
love
just
Mr. Kebab. I have it in years, but it's nice.
That's just an example. I'm not saying that Mr. the Kebab. Do you know what? I don't think I've ever had it, but like,
Oh, it's good. You should have it.
I'll give it a bash. Or I would say it's / fucking speedos or whatever. Anyway.
I jump over topics a lot, but just what do you think is the best kebab in Cork?
What's that one up? Spice Route.
Oh, it's
Spice
good.
Road
It's
and
good.
McCurtain
Their
Street.
chicken pakora by is fucking class.
I've never had it.
Oh, it's
I
unreal.
got their Miss Kebab inside there
Their
once,
kebabs are
and
they're spicy as well.
the yolk was just like literally the length and width of my head.
Yeah, massive.
And this is
yeah.
when I did, yeah, huge. And this is when I had the big, huge beard as well, so I had about an extra 4 inches of head. You know what I mean? Made it look like I have a jawline.
Spice Road is good, alright, isn't it?
Spice Road's a shit. But yeah, but going back to what I was saying, though, it's like basically in terms of like being regulated for food reviews, like it's a fucking TikTok video or an Instagram reel. You can take it with a pinch of salt, and you know over time. Like those fellas compare me to another Cork influencer that's in food, and they go, "I'd listen to you. I've gone to a place where he's gone, and I know that he was bullshitting, or maybe he has terrible taste in food." You know what I mean?
That was kind of why I like from the start never followed him, right? Because there was one or two again people that are I don't know they're all from Cork, they're Irish, innit?
Yeah.
And they're going to places and they're like 10 out of 10 and it's class, and I'm like I've been there and it's shit.
Yeah.
But then I suppose the other side of it is a lot of it's personal preference as well.
Oh, that's where the culinary arts thing, like it's all personal preference here. But there's places I've gone in and I've been like, this is I've said it like this is dog shit, and it's very rare that I'm that like harsh about things. But when something is absolutely disgusting, like we, oh man, I don't want to give an example, but like So County, everyone loves So County.
Oh man, I was only there once, man, and I thought it was unreal.
I went. This is a couple of years ago now, but I haven't gone back since because I know. And this is a child's meal that I got when I went in there because I was feeling a bit sorry for myself. We had a few drinks the night before. I was like something nice and easy, you know. So I was like, yeah, just give me chicken tenders, chips, nice sauce, and fucking whatever, you know. I know for a fact that the chicken tenders, and again, it's not like a fucking infant saying the fucking chicken tenders were a disgrace, but they were disgraced. They literally, I know for a fact that somebody must have ordered the food, but like, no, I didn't want that, put it back, and they just left it under a heat lamp. Because when they came out to me, I nearly cracked my teeth. And I'm not joking.
It was like a proper air fryer overdone chicken tender.
But I got soup beforehand, and the soup was outstanding. I can actually remember the soup was like, again, these words that I say, sometimes I just pull out my whole leg, but like I'm like, this is really nice. 8, 7, 9, 2, whatever. And it's like, they could be the same thing. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't like look at me as like, oh, he said it's this. He must be getting this tone here and this. Like no, it's none of that. It's just I'm really happy with it or I'm really not.
But it's like a normal fella's sort of like your audience, I suppose, would be the likes of me.
Yeah.
You know, average sort of fellas from Cork. I suppose we're not looking to know how it's tickling your you know, like
no, exactly
how it sits on the palate. But you know what? Just I'm laughing now as you're saying that about chicken tenders. I was watching. My partner was watching. So she was on TikTok and there was a video. I don't know who she was. Right, it was a girl in a went to Scoozies and gave a bad review. Right, but they know like I fucking love Scoozies.
Yeah,
right.
So do I.
It's probably my favourite place to go in town.
But the old place where you get spicy pepperoni, proper spicy pepperoni on your pizza, but it's lethal.
I haven't got a pizza out of there in years. I'm gonna have to fucking.
Down.
Their burgers are so nice, man.
Yeah, and the wings.
The class, the buffet. I love fucking shout out Scoozies, right?
Yeah, shout out Scoozies.
But right, and I don't know who this one was though. She sees this, she's probably gonna know coming for me. That's grand. I stand by what I say. But it was like she got like a wrap and chips. And I think her fella got like chicken tenders and chips.
Can't be.
Do you know what? Right, and sorry, no. If you're going to give a grown-up review, get a grown-up meal.
That's fair enough.
And don't get lunch for dinner. A wrap and chips.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I can agree with you to a degree.
Like
the place where I've gone and I've done the same.
Yeah, look, I get it. And it's fine, but like, I don't know. It's just kind of like. Don't go in somewhere like Scoozies and.
Oh no!
Like
if you're if you're going into Scoozies, Bocelli or something like that.
No,
sit down, get a fucking
Bocelli's.
yeah,
go down. A couple of weeks ago.
Sit
That's
down there and
good
get
spot.
a pasta for yourself, or like a lovely Italian meal.
Do you know, lasagna and Scoozies is known for its pizzas, for its fucking.
Exactly. That's what like judge it off of that. Don't judge it off a fucking chicken tender, like, you know what I mean? Like, but then again, each their own, as you say. Like those fellas that I know that are fucking 10 years older than I am, and they're still like fucking 6-year-olds, and all they like out of food, out of a restaurant. Their wife might go and go, oh, I want a lovely cut of meat and this and the boys are like, yeah, give me the chicken tenders and chips. You know what I mean? Like, so each their own.
You don't eat salads either and stuff, do you? Do you?
Well, I won't be my first choice. Like, you know
no,
what
but I mean, like, if you were getting a burger, would you ask for a plain?
Nah, that's kind of gay, but I'd have like some lettuce. I'd get like maybe no tomato, no onion, but I'd definitely get the lettuce, like, you know what I mean? But I just thought it depends on the onion you see. Like if someone comes out with a lot of red onion, to me I feel like taking off and hopping it off.
Do you not like red onion, no?
Hate it with a burning passion.
I suppose it's just really for crunch. There's not really a flavour of red onion, like, is there?
Are you mad? But it's the most disgusting flavour I've ever had.
Do you think so?
It's putrid, but
I don't like. I have really bad taste buds. I have no sense of smell either, so I'm probably the wrong fella. I eat everything.
You got battered by COVID.
Yeah, no, I did genuinely. Yeah.
No, red onion is disgusting, man. I detest red onion.
Do you know, right? One of the big things I had, right, because I was watching, I can't even remember who it was. I tell you the truth, it mightn't have even been someone from Cork, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember, so I won't say I was. But he went in somewhere, and this wasn't like a chipper, no, it was a restaurant, right? And he ordered a dish, and I was like, I want no mushrooms, I want none, like, he exterminated half the plate before it came out, right?
Yeah.
He didn't want this, and this. And it kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you watch Only Fools and Horses, but Trigger's Old Broom. It's had 14 new handles and 15 new heads.
Yeah,
it wasn't
it's still the same brush, though.
Do you know? It wasn't like, there's no flavour off this. And I'm like, so no, you took out all the ingredients.
The
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, see, that's the thing as well. Like, if I'm eating, say, spaghetti bolognese or something like that, I love onion. You know what I mean? Like, as in, like, that's like, I'm talking about just red onion in particular. I just fucking
hate
it. But, like, or like there's certain dishes where I'll eat mushroom in the dish and it's no bother to me at all. But then there's other things where I'm like I couldn't picture myself just going, oh yeah, can I get the sauteed mushrooms or whatever the fuck, and just bathe into mushrooms. Not a hope. You know what I mean? Because it has to be
with something else
in the dish,
I
as
get
opposed
that,
to the dish.
But I think that's kind of the whole point of a lot of them, isn't it? Is to go to bit complement each other, like.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah, and like different flavors do complement each other, and that's something that I may have to, again, like before I was doing the food reviews, I feel like I had a very fucking like basic palate, like, you know what I mean. And again, like, it's not like I'm fucking like Gordon Ramsay or anything, like, you know what I mean. Like, I just eat a bit of grub, but sometimes
it's more to watch people eating, I think, with the videos.
I feel like people watch me just to fucking hate me. Sorry if I stood in your lovely white shoes. But I feel like people watch me to hate me at things as well, then, though, like, because I'm like, I don't get a lot of hate where I'm like, and I'd have thick enough skin, so I'm like, I wouldn't be upset by it. But there are some people get upset by me, but
really,
like, I swear to God, I have fellas writing to me, girls writing to me, like DMing me messages, like, you know, just to let me know how much of a fucking dope I am. Or else, I do you know what? Half the time I agree with them, because I'm like, when I look back at these videos, but like, obviously, if you make a video yourself, I don't know what to do yet, but like, I've no choice to watch the video back. And
I never watch any of my videos.
There's times where I could have a 6-minute video of me eating, and I could have, no times I have put out 6 minutes because I'm like, love.
But you have to clip it, like, is that?
There's parts where, jeez, like, some of the stuff I say, I couldn't be recorded saying well, and that's not, like, I'm not a bad person or anything like that, but I foul language at times, you know.
Of course,
I say the C word 4 times in a minute, you know, that kind of word, like, you know, something like that, and I'm like, ooh, that sounds harsh in your ears, you know what I mean? Whereas, like, if I'm sitting down and I'm having a conversation with my friends and my family, yeah, no, I'm not saying it in a mean or nasty way that, but that's something that people just hate. They can't, like, you know, like, so I've no choice to go back and watch my video, edit it if needs be. 9 times out of 10 I get to put it out because I'm like, who gives a shit? It's who I'm being myself.
And you get a lot of people saying
what? Look at my folded comments back. Down at the end of your video, like, you would have,
like, the nasty comments, the
rude
stuff
are just, now the thing is then, like, I can laugh at it, like, I remember at the very start when I had about like fucking 500 or 600 followers or 1,000 followers, whatever, and people were like, from then, like, I was like, oh, you're fucking copying Richie, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're a fucking dope, or you be original, all this kind of stuff. And I was like Jesus Christ, it was weird to me, like, in my head then I was like, I'm only doing this as an outlet, you know what I mean? I was like, look, and then I kind of got my thing, I was like, sure, leave them say what they want to say, and or like, who gives a shit? And then it kind of started to get to me a small bit. Then over time you just kind of get over it. You go, and the folded comments, in fairness to TikTok, that's one thing I will credit to them. If you don't want to see the mean comments, don't click on the folded comments. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to see something nasty written about yourself or somebody else, it's segregated. You know what I mean?
Like, I have a much smaller following than you know on social media, so I suppose I am able to see more of my own.
Yeah.
And I'd always have a quick scans to see if I can identify the person. Because I've called people out like,
People you know, like.
oh, well, no, see, I know people I don't know.
Oh, seriously?
But they left little clues on their page and I was able to track them down.
Oh, I'm a psychopath like that
And
as well. Yeah.
I got messages through like that, look, if they have a real issue, I've no about calling to their house and we can sort it out.
Jesus
And
Christ. It's like fighting like or sitting
no,
over
I just want to see will they say it to my face, like,
yeah,
because
that's
9
fair.
times out of 10 they won't. They delete. Like there was one fella, I'm not even going to give him the clout now and naming him on this, but I tracked him down through his thing and I found him on Facebook and I put up a video. It's still up. He had me blocked for a while. He actually unblocked me only a few weeks ago.
You've clearly been watching that as well.
It popped up that he followed me.
Yeah. Fair
But then he
enough,
must have unfollowed me again, whatever, right? But I was like, I put out a video, it's on my TikTok. I was like, you're a grown man with a husband and you're leaving negative comments. And it was a video around something to do with mental health, like, do you know what I mean?
Gay fella. The grown man was he gay?
I'd probably tell people he was, but
yeah,
no, I don't think so.
Oh no, I'm not saying that gay people have more problems with mental health. I was just going to say, chances are they'd probably experience some sort of bullying growing up if it was someone around our age.
Yeah, no, there was this fella, no, he was married with a wife, and I was
no,
like...
you said a grown man with a husband as well.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm clarify that. If you're just calling people gay.
Yeah, man in the munching hates gays.
Just some of you.
You heard it here first, lads. We share.
Only a small portion.
But I was like, what the fuck? Like, do you know who? No, I'll be honest, right? If a video, if it pops up, if it's a completely unidentifiable page, I'll always just block.
Yeah, like user 1 2 3 4 5 6.
It's just blocked straight away because, especially when it's, I would just because, why?
It's engagement. I just leave everything as engagement. And
do you know what?
When you come back to someone that's being mean, if that, like the way you have to look at it, right? The way I looked at it anyway, at the start, I used to find it very hard. I used to find it very difficult. I'd be saying, who this fiend doesn't even fucking know me. Who does he think he is? And now I look at it. Then it got to a point where I was like, alright, this fiend's actually kind of funny, right? Because I could see myself if I was 14 and I saw some fiend.
But that's grand if it's constructive.
No, it's never constructive. I'm just saying it's really mean, but it's funny. You know what I mean? As in, like, I like, Jesus Christ, I watch loads of comedy, like stand-up and all that kind of stuff, so I can appreciate if someone's
but I get that. If someone actually slagged me and it was funny,
but then
I'd probably give them a comment back.
Yeah, but then look at the ones that are just plain mean, and you're just like, oh, your heart is just filled with hate. Then you just go, feel sorry for them, go, that's their issue to deal with more so than mine. It's still engagement on my big thing. And if you're having a bad day, you can reply to them saying something and they'll say something back and you know that you got under their skin. That's the way I look at it personally. I'm a petty fucker. Like,
well, you see, I was doing that at the start, but my comments were getting blocked.
Oh yeah, no, but you have to be smart about that then. Yeah,
I'm not able for that.
I used actually like take enjoyment, like pleasure out of being like, how do I get around the community guidelines? Because people would say the most horrible stuff to me, right? And like that, like there was people use common stuff like I not rarely have my kids in my videos anymore, but when I was starting off, like it was like the family, like, and I loved it, and like I still love having the kids involved in videos, but there was people start to mention the stuff about my kids and all this, or else they just start talking about you as a parent in general and all that. And again, now that's one where it's hard to go.
See, I couldn't walk away from that.
No,
I'm finding them like 100%. Like there's,
I couldn't either at the start, and then eventually I was just like my sister is in social media, and she has like hundreds of thousands of followers. You know, like she's done.
I sort of knew I should have got her.
You got the wrong sibling. You got the wrong sibling. Yeah, right. But like that. Like I'm very lucky in that sense though. Like she's been doing social media for years since she was like in her teens. And she's developed great thick skin from it, and good like good ways to kind of divert the situation, whatever fucking you know, avoid situations and shit like that, or just like look at that as a way.
She's
like
probably
that.
just way more likeable than you are.
Way more likeable and way better looking as well. So that probably works in my favour as well. But like it's like she's just like, oh, use it as it's engagement anyways. Like if somebody's commenting on your thing, commenting nice, nasty, fucking in between.
So
comments,
it's putting it more out into the.
Putting it into the ether by putting it out in there, and then if you reply back to a few of them, oh well and good. Like it's more engagement. Like that's the way I look at it anyway personally. And I found it hard at the start. And now again, it's not like I'm this fucking like multi-million follower person or anything like that, but like still like 40,000 people is
Well, it's a
there's
lot,
of
especially
people, but
when you
40
consider how small Cork is.
Yeah, exactly, and just think about 40,000. Do you know what's funny about actually? I know, well, obviously I have a massive following in Cork in Ireland. I've a huge following in England, and I've a bit
In
of a
England?
in England, yeah, but like we not huge, but we'd say like I don't know, is it necessarily a following? I can't say that for certain, but like a massive portion of like not like the metrics, your data metrics that you can
Yeah,
look
yeah,
at.
yeah.
Like a big enough portion would be the UK, like Liverpool, Scotland, Glasgow and Scotland, Liverpool, Manchester, Leeds, like all these certain areas pop up on my
Funny because
data
they're all
metric.
similar to Cork.
And
They're
then,
all
yeah,
kind
that's
of
the
northern
But
places.
then America as well, but I have like no Laura's family, like her brother lives in New York the last 20 years and that, and like my cousin Charlie, he's in Philadelphia. He's fucking unbelievable athlete, but so he got like a full scholarship over with Villanova, for running cross country. But like so like there's no reason like I obviously
They're sharing your stuff obviously over there.
but
Yeah.
you'd say you'd expect 0.1%, but like there's like a good like 6% of like my viewership is coming from America. I'm like, guys, we're after making
That's
it.
decent. I'd
It
say
is.
like 60% of mine is probably just Macroom.
Oh, yeah, but like the
The
majority.
same housing
Yeah,
stage.
no, yeah, but no, mine is the same because like at the start, even when I was doing it, I was like, there was times there where I might have had a much smaller following, but my views were fucking huge. Where I was getting like 100,000 views on every single video I put up. I was like, where the fuck are all these people by? It's like it's weird, like that's something that
It's mad how many of them
gave you mad
view.
anxiety actually, by.
But isn't it mad how many of them view compared to how many follow you then?
Yeah, that annoyed me. It used to annoy me. Now I'm like, because there was a point there. If I did it earlier, if I thought of doing it earlier, like when I was posting and I was consistently like now saying that like the majority of my videos we'd say food related videos anyway will get. Usually I'd be confident enough saying they're going to get about 40, 50, 60,000 to 100,000 views. But there was a time thereby where everything I was putting up was going 150, 200,000, and again I feel like, oh, your man, get over yourself, you know, like I naturally thought
Yeah.
up, but I wish at that time I had the fucking bandwidth to be like,
Capitalised on it a
here,
bit more.
guys, you're all watching, unless my man now was watching this video 150,000 times, start pressing the follow button, you know, because like I saw you actually say this. Laura showed me. Laura, my mum actually loves you as well, and Laura does. Like,
Shout out to Adam's
Mary.
mum.
Yeah, Mary.
Shout out Mary, my
But,
mom's Mary too.
But yeah, no, that's why. So it's 50%
Mary's.
of Cork, yeah.
You find them Mary's on
you
the back of the
find-
couch.
But that's not funny, bad. But no, I saw you say it. Laura said to Anthony, she was like, I saw a clip of you saying you could have a good idea in America and you're a millionaire. You have a good idea in Ireland and you're fucking dope. You know, you've notions, like, you know.
Do you know what? It's funny now, like, so I'm going to throw out another thing that was said to me by a good friend of mine only about 2 weeks ago. And it was something I never heard before. And since I heard it, I've seen it, right? A buddy of mine goes to me. He was on about his friends, right? And he was like, you know, like, you actually want to see us do well? And I was like, yeah, obviously. He goes, like, I have a lot of friends who want to see me do well, but not better than them.
Yeah, that's it. That's sad.
And it is fucking sad. And I was like, I was thinking back on different things and different interactions I've had with people and friends and stuff, and I was like, I see a bit of that.
No, you know it's a way more. No, I be honest, yeah, I'm lucky enough by all my buddies, all my real friends.
Oh, 100%, yeah. My
like,
inner circle.
The inner circle, the boys are
Yeah.
all. No, they'd all go, you fucking langer.
But they wouldn't be your friends if they didn't.
No, exactly.
Do you know what
They
I mean?
have no problem dragging you down to earth, but like that, they're very fast to say, give you your props and go, that's fucking unreal. But like that acquaintances, people that you see from around the place, someone that you might have been in school with growing up, and not a lot of them. I can't speak for everyone because like that's a very fucking
It's a very
pessimistic mindset to have. But it is fucking. It's like what they say in England or Australia, Todd Poppy syndrome.
Yeah.
There's certainly a version of it. I wouldn't want to be calling it Todd Poppy syndrome in Ireland.
No,
you know,
definitely not. No.
But that's
Todd
the way to
Sunflower.
describe it. Like, you know, I just like to say someone has notions. You know what I mean? I have notions. But
Notions 11 over there.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, but like that's me. You know, like I've notions about myself. Like I'd love, like what I was getting at there is like if I said it back then, like what I was saying later is press the follow button, press the like, share it, leave a comment, whatever. If I was saying that at the start when I'd say 10,000 followers, but I had fucking hundreds of thousands of views every week, like as in, I reckon if I posted 5 videos, I was hitting 1 million people a week, and why wasn't I saying it then? Like that was a silly thing to do.
And it does make a difference, like, doesn't it? I noticed that.
Shut up, telling people follow you. I say, well, when I
But
say,
look at Karen Noon. Look
Garen
at
Newman
fucking
is
Garen Newman.
following me.
No, I
Like,
know
actually-
he's a G. Like he's as far as I'm concerned, he's like.
I don't compare myself to people
No,
like
I
that.
wouldn't look. I'm not either. But like, I mean, like he's top of the scale as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned on social media in
For
Ireland,
Irish
right?
creators.
For
anyway.
Irish, but that's I can't like his following. Like that's what is getting him. That's how he really took on at the start. Apart from obviously he's very funny. He's a great
It's just,
personality.
it's his cadence, everything.
It's
like,
his.
really
He's just
fun.
built for it.
Yeah.
But
You ever see the size of him, mate? He's built by. The Fiend is about. He looks like Hagrid. He's fucking huge, but so tall. No, I'm small and insecure.
have you met him in person?
No, but I saw a video of him meeting a Fiend there the other day. I know I
Is that the one where he's walking up the road?
and
I've seen that
the
shot.
Indian fella is coming over
Yeah.
or whatever and saying something and he's like fucking whatever, but like when I saw it, it was like he literally looks like Hagrid, like standing over, you're just waiting
That's
for
what-
that
yeah.
giant three-headed dog.
If he
to
took
walk
a
in.
swing at you, then as well, like he'd. No, I don't.
Garen, I
think he
couldn't
would.
picture him ever swinging at anybody. He looks like a sweetheart.
He does, and look,
Yeah.
he's. I think like when there's so many fucking gobshites that are being idolised on social
Name a
media
few,
in
eh?
Ireland, I straight up like Conor McGregor, all these fucking.
Oh, do you not like
I-
McGregor, nah? I wouldn't be his biggest fan either. Like,
I-
I loved him back.
I
when he
loved him
started.
as an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
And
I
you
mean-
know what? And part of that is why I despise the cunt is because he had the potential to be one of Ireland's greatest ever sports athletes.
Yeah.
He walked through that featherweight division.
Yeah, I
Walked
think he
through
is
it,
one of our best
and
athletes
then
ever. Though,
he's ruined it for himself.
Oh no, he's ruined it on the back end, but can't tell me what he
What
did
he done?
himself.
Oh no, what he done is massive. But
Yeah.
then, like, we just shouldn't give
And then
him the
everything
fucking.
out of the octagon then as well, like when he was punching that old man and stuff
Do
like
you know
that.
what? I
None of
can
that looks
take
good.
a lot of things. I
Yeah.
can take people. I can handle a lot of character defects in people.
Take good
I
with that.
hate bullies,
Yeah, I'd be
and
the same.
that's what crossed the line with him. For apart from the fact he's a fucking
I
rapist
think,
as well.
yeah.
But the whole the
I won't even touch that.
look, don't if you don't want to. Look,
Yeah.
I have no. I think the biggest issue with these people is that they're not getting called out. And the the reason why Ireland is such a dangerous country for women is because men aren't calling their friends out. They're not calling out for creepy fucking behaviour.
That's fair.
So I have no bother calling it out.
Oh, yeah,
and
I
I'm
just-
just going to put out there as well, if I ever didn't...
Bumped into Conor McGregor, you'd be like, oh, it's going on,
No,
mate."
I wouldn't. And
Only
again,
done,
it's
then, only done.
I wouldn't. I stand by it. Like, and again,
Yeah.
I have the height of admiration for what he done as an athlete, but
As a human being.
it's his behaviour, man. That like
What was the girl that he was in the court case? That
Nikita Hand.
was it Nikita Hand was her, yeah.
But there was a
because
few-
there was a girl
but there was
that
a few
got
other
battered
ones.
by like that fiend that was in the army as well. I remember they tried to like
oh,
Was
what
that
was
not
her
Nikita
name
Hand?
again? No, it wasn't. She
oh
was.
God, they're gonna be like your man doesn't know his fucking
I don't
things.
follow rape cases
Yeah,
as
I
a
don't
hobby,
either,
like,
yeah,
but
that's fair.
that was
Well, you
you
know,
man.
they
He went
thought-
to jail over that.
He
though.
did, yeah. Well, the judge tried to like
He tried to give him a
dismiss it or give him like a
They
fucking,
sent it back to the DPP.
yeah, and then he got what he deserved. But with Conor there, right? Not that like again, I'm not defending it at all. But like that whole thing with Joan Nikita, like there was so many things, so many inconsistencies both ways. I'm not saying he didn't
Yeah,
do it
they-
or that he hasn't done it to other people or whatever. I don't know what goes on in these people's personal lives, but there was a few things by it where I was like, but did she have like, and again, I
Do you wanna
understand,
know
you're with
what-
a powerful person then, and you've like in your head you're like, can I leave? You know?
Do you know, people are going to laugh at this, right? But well, no, not laugh, it's not funny, but I was, years ago, I was involved heavily in Narcotics Anonymous, in the
Yeah.
meetings and stuff, right? And in 2017, I was involved in the area, which would be like how NA is run throughout the whole country.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's based in Dublin. And I wasn't driving at the time. So 2016, 2017, I think.
What age, yeah?
32.
I already got you small.
I'm young. I'm 94. I'm a year
Yeah,
younger
I'm
now.
95. Yeah.
But I wasn't driving at the time, so I got to train up to Dublin to go to this area meeting and our region meeting, and a buddy of mine from Dublin was collecting me, and he was telling me about it.
But McGregor?
About what it had happened.
Oh, Nikita Hand.
And the reason why I only remembered it because he was saying it was so bad about the tampon.
I know
That's
that.
the only reason why I remembered it, and that's why
Yeah,
I
that-
fully.
I didn't even think about that.
And again, right, your one comes across doesn't come across as an angel by any means.
That's
But
the
the
other side of
way
it,
the
by-
way I look
by
at it,
like,
right,
yeah,
is if you
fucking
like,
tampon,
but if you
shit.
look at all the stupid things we done when we were younger, dangerous situations we landed ourselves into, yeah, we are probably guilty of being fucking easily led and being fucking stupid, you could call it, like young people are. But do you then deserve for something like that to happen?
No, not
Do you
at
know?
all.
And that's just the way you look at it.
You don't
But
deserve
again,
anything to happen to you for any reason, mate. Not like that anyway. Unless you've done something like that to somebody else.
but
You
I
don't
think you
fucking
can
deserve it.
take that out of the equation, and he shouldn't be put on a pedestal anyway.
Oh no, I would
Like,
put
for
I've
his
taken him on
athletic-
pedestal years ago. He's a fucking he's a piece of shit. I'm not denying that. No, but I'm just saying it's fucking. There were so many things like like when they showed like the camera of him going up in the elevator and she's mauling the face off him, like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like the way I look at it is like, fair enough, everything that led her to being in the room with him, you know, whatever. But like, if you look at the cameras and all that, no, and again, I might be getting my wires crossed here now and be thinking of something else, but I'm nearly 99% sure that there was like when this was coming out, it showed like a lot of the build up to her
Oh,
going into the
definitely,
room,
yeah.
and like she looked like she was more than willing. Now then, when you hear afterwards, you don't know what happens behind closed doors. She could have went in there and be like, oh fuck, I actually do have a husband and kids at home. I'm feeling
Yeah, again,
feeling
and
incredibly
like we
guilty
said,
for,
she didn't cover herself in glory. With
Yeah,
any
that's
of
what I
it.
said. Like, you know,
But I had always said about him, he's not the
he's a
type
piece
of
of
fella
shit.
who looks to me. You don't
He's
need
not a
to.
protector.
You don't need to see him convicted of it to know he done.
Oh, 100%. I know that for the fact. No, like, I've no doubt in my mind that he's a horrible.
That was a weird case.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of grey area. But I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just want to let the record know. Like, I'm not defending him or saying he's a good person. I just fucking, I don't know. I just feel like it's a dangerous, it's a slippery slope for men and women.
Oh, 100%.
If you start going, no, this is 100% fact, and this is like you've kind of just, it's a spectrum. You know what I mean?
It is
Like, look at
100%.
everything.
It's and look, like dangerous things. Like, look, there's dangerous women out there as much as there's dangerous men. But I don't even know how we ended up on that. We were talking about fucking influencer. I don't know how we went from Garen Noon to Conor McGregor, but
Do you know what?
they're like polar opposites
That's
of the
probably why.
fucking.
How did you get into? Obviously, how did you become an addict? No, but like, what were you? No, but what were you doing with NA? How did you like? I know people go into it for whatever reasons, but like,
So
How
I
did you
got
end up
clean
progressing in it?
2014, right?
Okay,
It's
you were very
funny.
young, so-
Yeah, I was 20 when I ended up in a detox in Ballyraggett when I was 20. And there was that's their all saying it's time for
yeah, he came back and fucked up a few times.
And you know what's funny actually, because like my first ever sort of brush with social media and stuff was through my addiction, right? Like that's how the followers. There was before and after pictures of me from when I got clean and from when I was using and when I got clean, and I put it right because I never wanted to put myself out there on social media because I have a lot of fucking skeletons in the closet as well. Do you know what I mean? Over the years, and I was like, you know,
You want
like
a nice person back.
I want an angel. Do you
No.
know what I mean? And I done a lot of things I'm fucking very ashamed of, Alan. Do you know what I mean? No, I think I've made peace with a lot of them now and stuff like that. Like, in clean fucking 12 years, like, so a lot of it, I think I've righted a lot of my wrongs. You know what I mean? But I had like 60 followers on Twitter,
Yeah.
right? And I think I was like 6 or 7 years clean, and I threw my before and after pictures up. And I remember it was COVID because I was working from home, and I remember I threw it up right before I went into bed, and it was up to like 83 likes, and I was like, fucking hell, this is class.
Blown
I'm
up.
fucking.
Viral.
I woke up the next morning, I think there was 250,000 likes on it, and it was just.
Trending on Twitter.
I think on the day I think it was the most interacted with Twitter post on the planet.
That is.
It was. I still
was
have it
never
on
Twitter.
on my.
Because lamp off it. I was never on. I was never on X, Twitter.
It's gone to the dog since that fucking space nerd bought it. But
I feel like I was on it in 2009 because we could get onto it in school when we were in computer classes.
it'll get around the
Get
firewall.
around the firewall, exactly. But I never used it because it was like at the time it was like at Alan O'Mahony is eating pizza.
Like
or
I
whatever.
reposted it again.
Holy shit! By look at you. Sorry, no, I don't want to sound like fucking. That's fucking
Yeah.
madness, back.
But it put the shits up me.
You've 781,000 likes.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that
yeah.
post.
But it put the shits up me, so I never sort of took it further.
Oh yeah, of course.
It
it
was
would.
years
You probably
after
got a
that.
pang of anxiety going, fuck everyone.
I did. I
everyone in
was
the world
like,
knows who I am.
because I
Or
put
saw
it
me.
up, but I think it was all in the States. A lot of it was in the States and in the UK.
Yeah, well, the States do love
Um,
building up an addict. Not
they
like that,
do,
like, but they
yeah.
love a redemption story.
They do.
you know
They
what I mean?
love. And I was all for it. Like I
Brother,
was,
you
know.
look scary on that left photo, man. That was
Yeah,
actually
it's.
like you look like skin and bone, man.
I was, man. Like I mean,
Fuck me.
but from that
Don't
then
offend
it
you.
was. I didn't want it. I didn't expect it to go like that, and I didn't like it. And then a few years later, I was like, "Fuck it, will I do it again?" So I reposted it again, and it blew up even bigger the second time.
Is that the second
That
time?
was the second time. The first one was like, I think, got to like 600,000, and that was like 700 or 800,000.
Yeah.
But then last year, I was like, I wanted to start doing a few bits on social media because, do you know what? I think it was the year before last. I think I was at I went into double figures for funerals I went to, and they were all under the age of 35.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, there's something fucking wrong. There's something so wrong, and like, now again, is any of my social media stuff making a difference? I don't know. Right, I like to think it's helped one or two people,
100%,
right?
Brian. That's enough. That's
But
enough people.
100% it is, and like I said, like even with like you're on about, like with the fart, with the like giving yourself a pat in the back.
Yeah,
for,
yeah.
like when I hit like my only goal for the podcast was that I wouldn't make a complete fucking idiot out of myself. So when it hit
Well,
the
you're
100
fucked,
I know, look away a van.
I know you're
I went looking for the fucking sister, and I ended up.
Don't lie. Stay consistent, shit, come on.
I got when I hit the 100 subscribers on YouTube in the first week, and I was like, you know what, anything else now was a bonus.
That's unreal, though.
Do you know? I was delighted with it, to be honest. Now
YouTube's
my
hard,
goals
man.
are small. YouTube's fucking hard.
YouTube's so fucking hard, but I don't understand a lot. I tried my best to convert what I was doing on TikTok onto YouTube as well, and I was like, fuck that. I was like getting like 4 views. I was like, that's a major hit to the ego, man.
When I started, right, I pulled back numerous times since I started on TikTok because I just felt like, and you're in the same boat as me, family wise, right?
Yeah, your kids and stuff.
Yeah, right. And I found like it was getting in the way of things, man. And it was, how do you manage that?
Well, again, I'm lucky enough. Like me and Laura do it kind of together. I know it's my page, but I find that most of the content that I make, if I'm doing a video on Laura's video, like she'd be my cameraman. You know what I mean? Whatever. Like, you know, if you want to look at it, like, but we've good, like, we bounce off each other and we have fun while we're doing the videos. So like, I feel like that's half of it. Is that Laura doesn't mind. Like, you know, there are times where like it's like before, not necessarily no, but like we'd say a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I would have been like, I don't know why, but I get my own head and I start getting ratty. Like before the video, we'd say if we were going somewhere to do a video and there's 2 kids in the back of the car, they're fighting. Laura's fucking telling them, will you fucking relax there, lads, will you? And then I'll turn around and go, Jesus fucking Christ, relax, lads, will you? What's going on? And then Laura will be like, you raised your voice to the kids.
What are you
and then
snapping for?
I'm like, I'm not fucking snapping. I just want to go and do the video and go about our day. And I wouldn't want to be in a bad mood before the video kind of thing, and then everything would go against, and I just lost that mindset. I don't know, as I said, maybe 2 years ago I was kind of like more inclined to be like that, and then I was like, fuck this, I'm not making any money off of this, but I was like, I'm just doing this, like, as I said at the start of the thing, I started doing it just to kind of get over the anxiety. Now I'm well over that. People come up to me and they'll be like, oh, what's going on? I love the videos, and like that doesn't scare me at all. But so I actually love it.
I love it as well.
Well, like it's a fucking ego thing, whatever you want to say, but I genuinely do. When someone comes up to me and they're like, oh, I watch your videos, man, woman, child, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, if they come up, they're like, I watch your videos, but you're funny, or oh, you did this video, I was laughing at this, or that was wrong, I love this burger, and you have engaged and you have a chat with someone. It's there's nothing better in my day, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I like now. But back in the day, like as I said a couple of years ago, I don't know what it was, but I was like, had this thing in my head. I was like, what? Do this, get it perfect, do that. Now I just have to, as I said, like I'm just like, but you're making no money off this. You're literally doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Like,
You're doing it to enjoy it.
Like at the start of the year, like even like I was like I kind of lost it a small bit. I was like fucking like my old man was sick. And he was sick for a couple of years, and I just felt like that was probably half the reason why I kind of lost that mindset, as well as to like, you're going out and making it so serious. Who you trying to impress? It was like, my dad was diagnosed with cancer around Christmas time, And I feel like at the start when he was diagnosed, I was just like, this all intertwines as well. I'm not trying to make it a sad sap or anything like that, but like, I was making content and my dad was diagnosed. I must say that 4 times now. I find it very hard to talk about, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
It's only
that's
recently
alright.
enough.
But you don't have to talk.
No,
about it if you
no,
don't
not that I
want to,
find it hard. I just, when you're trying to get into a subject or whatever. But that was difficult. And then, as his sickness was progressing, I was just like, I'm making videos here and I'm pretending. Like, I got depressed myself and I was like, oh, you're pretending to fucking, this is a fucking little rap, or whatever. And then I'm coming off the fucking video and then we'd be taking a half an hour journey, then sitting up in Merriman for the next 2 or 3 hours,
Man.
And I just kind of got to a point there earlier on, like maybe the end of last year, I was like, what am I doing, mate? I was like, I'm making videos here for fellas. I was like, you can tell, like, even if you look at the content, like, I was just like, clearly not in it. You know what I mean? Like, in my head, and I was like, fucking, I just stopped making content because I was like, what am I doing? I was like, I'm pretending to be happy. I'm only doing it for the sake of it. And like that again, like what I'm trying to kind of meshing together is like, I just kind of lost the concept of, oh, you have to, everything you have to do has to be perfect. You want to get good likes, good comments, good views. And then I was like, when somebody's sick at home, it kind of puts everything into perspective. I was like, I'm doing this for the wrong reason. I was like, I'm doing it because I want to gain something from it in my head. I was like, this ego kind of thing or whatever. So I was like, I just kind of left it behind. And now obviously I've gone back, I've been making content since. And I feel like I was fucked myself. Do you know what? If I have any advice to somebody, guys, don't eat the way that I fucking ate over the last couple of years. It's all well and good.
I just find it mad. Now I'm a philosophical fella, right? I think very deeply. I just find it mad how it was kind of an existential crisis that got you into it.
Yeah.
And then there was another, like, cause something like that, like when you're facing looking down the barrel, losing your fucking one of your parents. That's another existential crisis
100%.
in itself.
And it took me out of it.
And it took you out of it. I just find that insane.
But that's just, it's a double-edged sword, like, you know what I mean? And then, like, I was lucky. I feel like we'll lose my dad. Like, my dad was genuinely, I know there's so many people say, oh, my dad's my best friend. But, like, you could ask Stephen there, I genuinely mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'm so lucky my dad was genuinely, I don't want to say it, but he was my best friend. I could speak to him about anything and all that, so I just kind of felt like the heaviness of that kind of happening and all that was just, it was just a bit much, and I was like, here I am pretending for the camera, and then I go home and like I could be fucking, like I have no problem, like I cried so much, and even now, like I just, every now and again, it's not like it's every fucking day or even every week anymore, but like since he's passed away, there's definitely moments where it's like you just get overwhelmed, you know what I mean? And it's just like, oh, okay, this is the hardest thing ever, and you kind of have this moment where, like, everything just gets so real again, and it goes right back into that time, and I'm still living in it. But yeah, I just kind of said to myself, what am I doing? Like, I was like, you're sad, you're clearly upset. You need to be around your family, and here you are making stupid fucking videos about eating pizzas and shit, like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I got a bit sad myself. I don't know what way to.
Yeah, but look, it's a distraction as well,
Yeah. FIFA is too, though. FIFA, Arc Raiders, playing PlayStation, that was actually what got me through a lot of it.
And that, it actually, just talking about that brings me perfectly onto the name of the podcast is What Saves Me.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, like, you're, like, I know, like, social media isn't your full-time job, but you probably invest more of your head in that than you do in your job, if the boss is listening, no, I don't. But, and then, like, obviously losing a parent while you're trying to be, like, cause you know what, like, we all have our identity, we're a dad, we're a brother, we're a fucking, and then we put so much of ourselves out on social media as well. Like, how do you stop yourself from going fucking bare me?
Like what he just said there, I literally play PlayStation, spend time with the kids, like that. Arc Raiders, I'm like a fucking 15-year-old. You know what?
What's Arc Raiders?
Arc Raiders is like a player versus player or player versus environment game. There's Arc. They're like fucking robots, essentially drones and all that kind of shit. It's a shooter game. You're trying to kill the Arc, loot stuff, and bring it from topside to Speranza. I know this sounds fucking crazy to anyone that doesn't play the game, but that's the concept: is you get the loot, you bring it back, build guns.
Oh, robbing gas.
Oh, not robbing gas. Essentially, you could just rob. Like it's like based in Italy in fucking 600 years in the future, the world has gone to shit and you're going topside to get resources essentially. But forget about that. That's my nerd game. That's what I just enjoy doing. Like half an hour sports. Go in, do your raid, get out. FIFA. Again, fucking. That's just my outlet. I don't know what it is. It used like before. I'll be honest with you, I know this is something I've never spoken about publicly anyway. Like what you were talking about with NA and all that. Like I had my own issues throughout the years. Like when I lost my grandmother. All for me, or all for me. Like,
Well,
you
no,
know what I
it's
mean?
not
Like,
that. Everyone.
yeah, everyone
We're all
loses.
human,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. But when my nan was passing away again, when I was being raised. It was my nan, my mum, and my dad in the house with us. Like my nan lived with us, so it was like having two mums and a dad growing up. Then they all hated each other. But no. But like when my nan died of cancer as well, and like I was in the tropes of addiction at the time. Like I didn't realize I was because I was only fucking 22, 23. My dad was coming along, and I just thought like, I'm going out with the boys on the weekend. But then like I was getting, I don't want to like go into too much detail or bare myself too much, but like I was using what I'd used during the weekend, slowly started using it during the week, and then before I knew it, I was like, oh, by your 100 euros of debt, and I'm still in denial about it, saying you're fine, you're fine, and all to that. So like I was going through the tropes of addiction when my nan was dying at home, and then when my dad was passing away. Luckily, I was out the other end of addiction, and I was like fucking. And why I asked you a while ago, like, how did you get into the NA thing? Obviously, addiction, I understand that, but for me, I don't know what it was, but like going into CA meetings and all that, it never really resonated with me. Whereas I was like I did Coolmine, and I did like a 12-week course with Coolmine, and it was more so like the kind of not like it's not like we were sitting down doing a science
It's the behavioural stuff.
Behavioural stuff, exactly.
Yeah,
To show you the scientific thing. But even that way, I felt like it was like I definitely took benefits from going to CA meetings or go like I like that. I never even stood up and spoke in a CA meeting. Like I've only gone to a handful of them because I just never felt comfortable inside there because like maybe it was because I was doing TikToks as well at the time, so I probably had to remember like this man there doing the food reviews. He's sitting down here like, well, what's he gonna say? That was me in my own head about it. Like that was my personal trope. Obviously, when you go in there, it's a completely different atmosphere and feeling for everyone. But then with the Coolmine thing as well, I was like, this like giving yourself to God. Like again, I know everyone deals with everything differently. Just wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Like
it's interesting, all right. So because I went completely off topic when you asked me, I didn't get clean through meetings. I got clean in the treatment centre. Like I done a 2-week medical detox in Ballyraggett and Kilkenny, like I said. Then I went into the main house, Ashland House. It's a treatment centre for adolescents, I think 15 to 21. I done the detox, and then I was in there I got fucked out there for about 3 weeks. I got thrown out, I got sent home to Cork, being bold. The whole house got discharged because someone took a shit and put it underneath someone else's pillow.
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me, and I got blamed for it.
Was it not you?
And even though I'm sure it was aimed for me, and they got the wrong person.
Oh yeah, that's disgusting. Man.
Yeah, but
see Bobby's hands in a dirty strike or something. Man. What the fuck?
But I got fucked out of there, and I'd been linked in with addiction services since I was about 12 or 13. So like I'd been with Metalba. No, it's just grand. I'm all right now. Like,
yeah,
you
I mean?
I can't keep the weight off me now, you know. So like when I got out, Arbor House had already lined up another treatment centre for me, Ashery and Care in Tipperary. I done 28 days up there, finished my primary, came out of there, went to Fellowship House, done 3 months up there, and then done 5 months in the aftercare house. I just kept through it, but like the meetings for me, to be honest, right, like I wouldn't ever talk bad about the meetings, right? I don't believe in them anymore, right? But they saved my life but it wasn't, to be honest, what it was. It just gave me a new circle. It gave me a new way of living.
You get to meet like-minded people. But I just found like when I was going in there was some fellas there. Like there was a young fella again. Look, I know when you're someone sharing in a meeting. It was the day when I was inside there, and like I was having a fucking awful day myself. And again, not to make it like all about me. Like when you're going into a thing, you have to be understand that you're going into these meetings to be selfless as well as selfish. You're being selfish in the sense that you're going to help yourself, but you have to be selfless in the sense that there's everybody else that's sitting there side by your left and right is doing the exact same thing for their own reasons, and they might be further along in their journey, or they might be just starting it or whatever. there was a day outside there, but again, I must have only fucking, this is like my 10th meeting, I'd say, like, as in a CA. Never mind the cool mind, I'd be honest with you, I'd be more inclined to push people towards that than sitting down in meetings. But this young fella, he must have been and again, look, I know there's young people that are 16 years of age and have terrible addiction problems. This thing, he was talking about, like, oh, he was in this situation and he saw this young one owed money and someone slit her throat or something. I was like,
all ego bullshit,
it's
like,
a fucking bald-faced lie, by the fiend was lying through his teeth.
no,
about
my
the situation.
only thing, right, is it does surprise, it does make me laugh.
Made me pissed
when-
off, is what it did, but
Well,
sorry.
I just find it mad how someone could go into a room full of drug addicts
Let's start talking about something.
and not expect people to be fucked up.
No, I understand
You
that.
know?
No, I get that. But this fiend was just.
It was just lies. Yeah.
It was clear and obvious lies.
it's
Alright?
funny 'cause-
I've lied before. You know what I mean? And I could tell when someone's lying, and this fiend was just trying to think what happened next. Like he was trying to make up a story. and it went
There's a
nowhere.
lot of that, right? A lot of people. See, what happens is
That was
people
last
come
week,
into
I was
meetings
like, I
and
can't this cunt anymore.
no,
You know what I
look,
mean?
but
It's
people
fuck
feel
this.
like they need to overcompensate. I remember when I was in Asherie, I was fucking mortified. I was making up stuff that, like, to make it sound
I should be here. I need
tamer,
to be
you know.
here.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was the other way. I was like, no,
Oh,
you know,
tamer?
yeah, because I was like, I was fucking disgraced. I remember sitting inside one group meeting, and because like there's a lot of people go into Asherie and care through their health insurance, whereas I went in through Arbor House HSE,
Yeah.
funded by the. A lot of people were like posh, do you know,
Well
like
off.
do you know, and like there was one, and it was a group called Consequences, like, and your one was saying, oh, do you know, like, because of my drinking, I had to reschedule my tour, my holiday to South Africa.
Yeah, you're like.
And I'm like, I used to eat out of bins. What are you on about? Like, we're not the same. Do you know
No.
what I mean? And then there's a different scale of addiction that I couldn't comprehend.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a big part of how I walked away from why I'd never go back into a 12-step meeting is I don't fully believe in that. No, abstinence is what works for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't go out and have 1 pint. I couldn't.
Oh, well, I can't see.
Do you know?
I've
Yeah.
gotten to the point where
100%, right? But
literally only 4 or 5 nights ago, I went out downstairs, had 4 points, 5 points, watched Callum Walsh fighting, and
But you
went
see,
home.
if you were to go into a meeting now, you'll be told you're not in recovery.
Oh yeah, no,
right.
that's why I.
And that's an issue I have, because especially in my line of work, like I mean, I've seen people go from, like depths of this,
Depths of
now,
despair.
like overdoses, regular overdoses, and needles and things, prison things. Most
Clean.
people can't comprehend to having a relationship with their family, working, maintaining independent living.
Yeah.
And being able to have a few pints at the weekend, or maybe they're on methadone,
Yeah.
or maybe who the fuck is someone to say they're not in recovery?
No, that's what I mean.
Do you know what I
Like,
mean?
it's not fair to say.
But I do
Right.
always say NA saved my life. Do you know, I wouldn't ever take that away. It's what worked for me, because
Yeah.
that's what I needed. Like, people that say, oh, you get brainwashed in meetings. I fucking needed to be brainwashed.
Yeah, that's another thing though. Like, I genuinely did feel that way. Like, I was like, all these people are sitting. No, do you know what I thought as well? Though? I was like, a lot of them are lawyers, man. I was like, they'll sit there, like, and I'm not saying again hereby. I'm not saying like lawyers in the sense like that they're using or anything like that. But you literally, I just found, like, in my head, I was like, again, then I was doing social media. I wanted to like be a fucking podcast or whatever, like, you know. So I was like, I was just kind of think about everything as it was anyway at the time. But like, you wouldn't have been fucking. You'd hear one fella, like, he'd be sitting at the back, he'd be talking about, like, this off thing happening. I was, like, you know, the way, like, I don't know what advice you got before you, if someone's listening, they're planning on going into their first meeting, don't bare your soul, you don't have to tell everybody everything, you know what I mean? But it's okay to share. But you'd hear the fella, and you'd think, oh, he must be after coming a long way in his recovery, you know, because he's speaking very openly and honestly. And then you hear him outside having a fag afterwards, and it's like, yeah, like, you know, like, oh, that was all just a fucking facade inside there. You know, that's
Look,
the life
it's
of it.
yeah. Look, and there is a lot of that.
Don't want
but
to be an asshole to
again,
somebody either, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, this is just my honest opinion. You
I know, but and look, you're right. It does, like, there is a lot of it now. Like, I haven't been to a meeting in years,
Yeah,
and a big part of it, to be honest, was COVID kicking in. But then there was also that, right, what people were saying in the meetings didn't match their actual real life message
yes,
outside.
well, that's what I'm saying, like, you know what I mean?
But again, I mean, it's like anywhere you go in, like I went in and like I did like like I've really close friends that I still meet every day that I was in treatment with 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They're fucking, I trust these fellas with my lives, they're my closest friends. So like I think the most important thing with the meetings is you go in, you take what you need and you leave the rest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How did you keep on anything like counselling or
No, so
anything?
like basically when I was in school, I always kind of had problems, not problems, like you know, but I went to a couple of different schools, whatever. I was asked to leave a few because of fucking smoking weed and stupid shit like that when I was a kid. It I never really, I took away like what you said there. You take away what you need before, like we'd say. Matt Halbert would have been the first place.
I was there as well when I was 11 or about 12 or 13,
I
yeah.
was a bit older than that.
Trebeglon, isn't it?
Yeah,
Douglas,
yeah. But I was about 16, I'd say, and I was caught smoking in school and lied through my teeth. And when they fucking knew, obviously, whatever, everything came out. So to Matt Halbert, and I was going in there, and I remember going in there, and I was like, alright, I was like, what way does this work? I was like, I was only going in there because I wanted to get back into school. I was like, get some clean piss, go out, do these meetings, and do your council session, and that's the way I was looking at it. By the end of it, I remember going in there and I was like, I thought that was grand. And then there was like maybe 3 sessions in, I remember crying inside there, and like crying like to the point, like I was like, Jesus Christ, I can't stop crying. You know what I mean? I was like, this fiend's gonna think I'm a fucking.
Was he bald?
Bald fiend, yeah. I hate him. I genuinely did not like him at all. He was an awful, like to me anyway. Not he was an awful, probably a really lovely man. but in my head I was like, this fiend, man, just fucking sign the paper and let me out of here, like you know. And but that was grand. And then I remember like it was like my 3rd or 4th session going in there, and they were like, he was like, how are you feeling? And I was like, I again, this is something I wouldn't have been like this before going in there, and it's credit to this man. I don't even remember his name.
Jason.
Is it Jason? Is it? But
amazing counselor.
Credit to him anyway, because I remember like he was like, how are you feeling today, Alan? And I was like, I'll be honest with you, I was like, over the last couple of weeks, and again now just a 16-year-old, like you know, everyone was still in school, going on to do their leaving cert and all that, and I was just thinking at this moment I'm excited for school and never getting back in. Fucked, like you know, I'm not going to be able to get clean piss or whatever, you know, like it was just all these stupid fucking notions in my head. But I was like, I feel like my life is someone's holding a pane of glass in front of me right now, and I've picked up a hammer and I fucking laced it through. This is me 16 years of age. I couldn't even believe I was saying these words, like you know, I was like, laced the hammer right through the middle of the glass. And now that's my life, and I'm just trying to put all the shards back together here now, and I honestly don't know where to start. And again, incredibly upset, you know, like because and I was not upset like that. I was like, because at the time I wasn't, I don't know where you were at this stage of your life, but I certainly wasn't like what you would consider a fucking addict. I was just a young fella that got caught smoking a joint.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like genuinely, later on in life, I was definitely on a trajectory. And
it was debatable, like
but like no, at the time it wasn't even debatable. Yeah. It was like this is just I was so active in the bars by hurling football, playing soccer, Thai boxing. I was so active in sports. It was when I got to like my kind of very late teens, early 20s, where I was like, I just turned the corner. I took my first hard drug and that was that, like, you know what I mean?
Fish to water.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It really was. Like, I was like, this is great. I was like, wow, so much fun, you know? Yeah. But at this time, like, it was just do this, get clean piss, get into school. You know what I mean? And stop smoking, all that kind of crack. But yeah, what you were saying, what I'm trying to get to, long story longer. But fucking, I learned, okay, talking and actually opening up and sharing how you feel, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, is 99.9% of the time a positive outcome if you let it be a positive outcome. Like if you're saying something that you're disheartened in yourself or brings you down, or something you're embarrassed about, that you're ashamed of, and you confide in somebody that you literally have confidence in, a lot of the time that's a positive outcome, you know, like that even if they don't know what to say and they feel uncomfortable, like, oh fuck, I don't know what to say to that, sorry that you're going through it. A lot of the time, for me anyway, personally, a problem shared, hearing something out loud and come from going from your inner voice to your actual voice, and you go, actually, after hearing that literally out loud, it's not as bad as I actually thought it was. No, it's still not might not be a good situation, or somewhere you want to be, but it's not quite as bad as what you are, and then you just move from there. Like that's what I took away from going to meetings
And that's what I was going to say,
Yeah,
because
it-
that is the base of the meetings, is the, like what they're calling meetings. It's the therapeutic value of one addict or one alcoholic helping another, and it's identification, and it's knowing you're not alone in the problem. Like, the whole thing of me, why I started on TikTok, was to try and get people to talk to each other more.
Yeah.
Because it saves fucking lives. It's like, when I think back, like a big part of, like, towards the end of my using, like, because I struggled massively. Like, I've always loved drugs, like when I was a child, coming
Younger,
into
like,
a
yeah.
teenager, and out of all that, like,
Isn't it crazy to think though?
class
like,
A's were my thing, like.
Yeah, I was saying, but like, well, like cocaine really. Like
Yeah.
it went from ecstasy to cocaine, and once I started cocaine, I was like, fuck, this is brilliant. But isn't it crazy how you go? There's no way that I'm never going to be able to not take this drug because it's a
I
psychological
didn't think
addiction.
so. Well, you see, that's what caught me, was because
And then
I
not-
kept
you sat here not caring
switching.
about it.
I knew I was fucked
Yeah,
from the age of about 15, 16. I knew these had a hold of me, because I just could not stop, and I was thousands of euros a day at the age of 16.
yeah, it's crazy.
But I kept switching, and it was the weed that fucked me.
yeah,
It was the weed fucked up my head, and it made me very fucking paranoid. Psychosis started setting in. But I always had very good friends. Do you know, like my friends I grew up with down in Macroom, like they fucking 100% the only reason I'm not dead is because of them.
yeah,
And towards the end of my sort of drug taking, one of my closest friends got locked up, and like he now was a fella with his own demons as well, but like I could land onto him at fucking 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, and fucking just lay down the end of his bed, and we
It
just
didn't
had the
matter.
telly on and just talk. And then when he got locked up, that was gone.
yeah,
And I know, again, like I had good friends, but not people that I could open up to on that level.
yeah.
And that was coming to the end of it then, like, you know
You're
what I
like,
mean?
you have to make a decision here.
it
Like,
was-
it has to end, or else you're going to die. You know what I mean?
Look, I just knew I knew I was either going to jail or I was going to treatment, or else I was going to die. I was alright with any of them. And it's not that I wasn't afraid of jail. I was afraid of going to jail, but I just knew it couldn't be worse than what was going
yeah,
on there.
in your head, like. You know what I
And
mean?
like I said, I fuck, a couple of my closest friends were up there anyway, so I was like,
Yeah, you're like going up
you
to
know,
the lines.
you know, it's
Oi,
not that. I
Jay,
was just,
oi,
I knew,
Jay.
you know, I was always arguing with more people in my head than I was actually arguing with in reality.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm always kind of a person who gets on well anywhere I go. So I was kind of like, look, and with the ego as well, and fucking being involved in crime at that time, I was like, sure.
Like I was never involved in crime.
But I
or
was just-
anything
but I
that.
was like-
just a fucking fella making poor choices.
Well, I was stupid, and I was like, going to prison will be good for me. It'll be good for fucking, I suppose, how I
get away
ascertain
from
myself, how I'm
everything,
seen.
yeah.
No, I was kind of like, people will, like, I like the idea for my image of me going to prison. I didn't give a fuck.
Oh, you were like, that'd be cool, like.
It'd be cool, like, do you know what I mean? I
Oh,
was
Jesus
like,
Christ, no,
and I was
never,
like,
ever like that. No
but
offense,
I was so badly terrified of my being in my own head. I was like, prison would be better. And
That's
I,
crazy, man.
yeah, and I went to court, and I was after having an assessment already, and it was the 17th of June. I went to court, and he said, I'm going to give you a 90-day sentence. And my solicitor, I'm not going to name the solicitor, he's retired now,
Yeah.
but he was just, I think I was going to say, he went slow, he was fucking just destroyed from fucking representing reprobates for years. His head was fucked.
He's like, fuck, you're lucky you got 90, man.
His head was gone. The
Yeah.
guy was up for a fucking public order. The judge was going to give me a 90-day sentence.
Well,
No, there was a few
I
public
don't
orders.
understand any of this.
Just
now,
being
like.
a drunk bollocks around the place,
Okay.
and threatening a guard. And
And they're giving you 90 days.
90-day sentence. And I goes, come here,
Nothing
the
suspended.
solicitor was saying nothing.
And were you like, this is a bit much?
I said, come here, I should probably mention this. I actually have a bed date and treatment tomorrow.
Oh, what? He was like, okay, you can go to that and say.
He goes, where? And I said, Ashland House. He said, the Asheri group. He said, I was there myself.
The judge.
The judge,
Oh,
Judge
fair
McNulty,
play,
down in Macroom.
Fair play to him.
And he gave me a chance, and it went on for ages. I was.
Did you not ever feel? Did you do? Is it? Sorry, no. This is just not making it about me or anything like that. But do you ever feel this shame about it? Like, you know, like this is my first time ever like speaking about my trust with addiction. Like I've never talked about it. Like as long as I TikTok and all that. And like there was parts of when I was on TikTok where I was in an active addiction. Like people were watching me, just didn't know. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
But do you ever feel like this weird? Like fuck. I'm after saying this now, who people will know this or know that. Like, do you know, did you ever get that feeling? Like,
Do you want to know the God's honest truth?
Like, this is, it's like, I'm just get like nearly PTSD, like when I went back to like into like the CA meeting, so I'm like, everyone knows your business.
The God's honest truth, Alan, right, is, and I've said this, people have said to me, right, would you not be afraid of disgracing yourself on social media if it don't work out? I wasn't the sort of fella know who got caught smoking a few joints, like.
Yeah, that's it.
I was out of my forehead walking around the place all the time.
I can't picture you being like that because you're such a nice person. My mum loves you
I
so
hit
much.
the deck. I went out. I took 100 sleeping tablets. Well, I don't know did I take 100, but there was a box of 120.
So there was 20 left.
There was, I don't know, I took them, I went drinking, took MD and hit the fucking deck in a monkey onesie.
What?
I was wearing it with days. I was just going around the place.
Yeah.
It was manky. There was a little hole and everything for going to the toilet. Yeah, I was around the town in Macroom, like.
Yeah.
Tracksuit pants on over the bottom of the monkey one, and
there's nothing you can do that can describe.
There's, that's just one way I use to describe it.
Fucking hell. That's me.
People have seen me at my worst, so no, this shit on fucking social media is only a small thing.
Yeah,
fuck about it compared to what I've done. Like,
yeah, I just hope that anything when I say something like this, like you just hope that someone can take away the good aspect of
100%.
it. And, you know, that's the way I'm trying to look at it anyway. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I was battling myself before I came up, like, because Laura was even saying, she was like, "Oh, you're going to talk about." Because she was saying, like, most of the people, like, your man Long Road Recovery,
Thomas,
yeah, like, lovely fella, I follow him on TikTok and all that and whatever. Like, there was some, I don't know.
You wouldn't put it out there, like,
wouldn't put out some of the stuff he was speaking about. You know, we'd say that. Yeah,
I suppose, but look, the big difference then as well, right? Like, and I don't know about mentioning Thomas because Thomas watches the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Thomas is a friend of mine.
And that's what he's saying. Like,
I spoke to Thomas beforehand, and I said to him, if I felt he crossed the line on anything, I was going to take it out. And I tell the truth, it's going to be the same with you.
Yeah,
right. There's a lot of podcasters out there, and I think a huge issue is they have no responsibility for what they're putting out.
Yeah.
And I have a huge issue with that. I think when you have someone, like I've said no to people to come on the podcast.
Because you're like, no, like,
I don't think they're in the right place.
Yeah, no, and that's fair enough.
I don't believe in taking people on. No, look, Thomas, I felt was different. He is in early recovery, but he's around this thing a long time, and he's way bigger on me than me on social media. He's been on the telly. He's, you know, like. And Thomas is out there already.
He's a fight coming up there now in November. Did you see that?
Yeah, and I'm sponsoring him for it. So
that
best of luck to Thomas now. Fighting November. Shout out Thomas McCarthy. Long way back recovery. He's going to be fighting. But I think that if you're bringing someone on a podcast, you should have some bit of like afterwards. I'm going to talk to you and ask, is there anything you want taken out? Right.
No,
most of the time people say no, but I wouldn't be comfortable with someone. And my look, and other podcasters are different.
Oh yeah, of course.
I just don't feel comfortable with it. Like I've made okay. Like
you've come to terms with your story, and you're like, oh, you're okay sharing it.
But look, I mean, you have to look at who's the people who are most affected, right? Number one is me.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Number two is my family, my immediate family. Like, I'm lucky I got clean before I ever had kids.
Yeah.
Right. So it'd be like my mum, my dad, my brother and sister.
Yeah.
They seen the worst of it.
Yeah.
They are the ones, like, especially when you're in addiction, you're a lot nicer to your friends out in the street than you are to your family.
Oh, I'm sure people are taught once I get to it. But again, I was in active addiction for a few years. I know the score, like, you know what I mean? I've said some of the most horrible things, and most untrue as well, like you know, like, it's just like you just say it with venom just to, because you're on a come down, they're trying to have your best intentions at heart, going, you're putting yourself into an early grave, and it's always coming from a place of love, and then your thing is, I'm gonna fucking hurt you, I'm gonna go.
But it's there's a saying, they say hurt people.
Yeah, I know, I think that's the gayest thing ever, back.
But it's very true, by, and I never ever make a decision if I'm heightened, if I'm upset.
I try not to. I can't say I'm there yet. Definitely fucking.
And you know, but that's from years and years of working on myself, Alan. Do you know what I mean? Like the big, I never, even like my old lad will tell you, like, even like I very rarely lose my temper. Very rarely, because I know I'm not an angry person by name. Don't get me wrong, I flare ups in traffic and stuff like that, the same as everyone does. But like, I I think I leave myself down.
Yeah.
I leave myself down by things I say when I'm cross or when I'm upset. And again, like there's stuff, and like I won't take anything I say out of the podcast. Like there's loads of stuff that was probably said in this podcast that I probably shouldn't put out,
Yeah, but sure.
but it's going out because, to be honest, like I said,
No, I don't
give
think
a
I've
fuck.
said anything that's going to.
No, you haven't. I think I've probably said if I might have Conor McGregor on my front door, but again, that's one punch to the jaw that I could retire on.
Come back
You know?
with 4 cans of Black Fort lace off.
But again, look, it's and I think when people put themselves into the public, they should be open to
Criticism.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And you know what? Not even to go too far back into Conor McGregor, but I felt a bit let down by him as well.
Yeah, I did as well.
I loved watching him when he was fighting.
Like, you say then, though, like, why the version of McGregor that's right here today. Obviously, he was addicted. He was clearly hooked on money, women, drugs, like you name it. Like over, like not maybe. Okay, so what I know of Conor McGregor, what I know of him, is that before he was in fucking like training, or when he was training, he'd disappear for a few weeks every now and again when he was training, and he'd go out fucking on benders or whatever and do all his madness. Then he became big and big and big, started getting very successful in Cage Warriors, got to the UFC, and throughout that period,
he was completely abstinent.
Abstinent from drugs, not from women, obviously, like or whatever, but like you know, like he was completely clean, and then started gaining success, getting traction. Fucking your ego starts growing. It's very fucking hard, so I can understand where you fall back into old.
I can completely understand all the stuff with like him going off, but it was just the stuff that's done is just I just don't think he should be.
No, there's some stuff you don't come back from. You know,
there's some stuff you don't come back from, but as well, I mean, there's a big thing with it is there's so many amazing Irish athletes and. Katie Taylor, Kerry Harrington, Sonia Sullivan, her daughter broke her record. That's mad. Shout out. I can remember being like a small child when was that the 2002 Olympic or no?
I thought it was earlier than that, but I don't know were we even alive when this happened.
No, we were definitely, yeah. We definitely were.
I just thought, was it Sonia O'Sullivan? Was it her sister or her mum? Someone anyway was someone of her relation was my teacher. In senior infants, Miss Coffey, God rest her soul, she's after passing away, so she was a lovely woman actually, Miss Coffey. But I feel like I'm not wrong when I'm saying that she was like of like a close relation.
Very sure of yourself.
Well, no, because my mum is a bit of a bullshitter. My mum told me this. No, she's not. God rest my mum's not a liar. But no, I'm like right there. Like I'm fairly sure that they were related. Go on anyway. It doesn't make a difference.
I don't even know where I'm going with this. Look, we'll move off that. But like with what I suppose I have 2 questions I want to ask you right at the end. But I just want to finish a bit more on just a bit more about your self-care stuff around social media.
Well, in terms of self-care, like you said, you just have to kind of get to the point where it's like water's off the duck's back. You can block people and you can like. What I did actually, to be fair, so obviously, look, people know that when I started doing the reviews and all this, everyone was like, "Oh, Richie this, Richie." I'm not saying this in a sense like the ruffle feathers or anything like that. What I did, there was somebody who wrote to me. It was a friend. So one of my old teammates, James McCann, his sister Sinead, wrote to me on TikTok, and she was like, "Alan, I'm following you from afar, whatever, like you know." But she was like. You know, she was like, there's a lot of people say very fucking nasty things and they're always comparing you to Richie. She was like, you can actually just block the word Richie from your comments. So she was like, you can go on and literally, if anybody comments anything in regards to the word Richie, so it's like, oh, you're copying Richie, you're doing this with Richie, blah, blah, blah. Again, I wasn't actually copying Richie. I started the podcast with the real like Chicken Rolls Shitty Holes. And then Laura said, well, yeah, obviously it was influenced to a degree by him, but I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, but again, like someone, like...
But like that,
you're never going to be the first person to do anything.
Oh no, of course not.
I mean?
And like, but like that's besides the point. We won't say, but like I'm just saying, there was this whole thing.
Yeah.
That was created externally to a degree. I'll definitely say I was definitely a part of it, but then it just got to the point where it's like, oh, I thought it was going to be like this kind of back and forth, where it's like, you know, be like. We both know it's like this fucking funny thing, but it just got really nasty very fast.
Between the two, so you did end up arguing between the two of you, did you?
Oh yeah, there was a whole thing like, but we can get into it if you want, but like it's like, Where I looked at it as like there was this whole thing where at the start, alright, so my first video, people commented on the thing, Richie's copied our thing. He was like, there's plenty of room for everyone to do this. He had about 10,000 followers, we'd say. And then, as it went on, people were still commenting his name, but like he never commented on any of my videos after that, so I just forgot about him. And then, and again, I genuinely like never saw any of his videos or anything like that. And I was just posting away, like, you know. And then Laura said he did a video on Bertie's. And Laura was like, "Do you see this video that Richie's actually saying there?" And I was like, "What you mean?" She was like, "No, like," she was like, again, no, Laura doesn't give a fuck when I say, could not give a fuck about anything I do on my TikTok. I was in, she loves making the videos with me and all that. But like when it comes to stuff, she was like, "You're fucking children," you know. It's so beneath her.
She's the adult in the situation.
She really is, like, as in, like, it's so beneath her. But me then, I can be emotional at times, whatever.
But what then? What, he name dropped you or something?
Basically, somebody said in his comments on the Bertie's video, because I grew up in Ballyfian, somebody I know was like, "Oh, that's man in the Munchins territory," joking. But I hadn't seen any of his videos in months. There was no animosity between us before this. But he commented back something to the degree of, "Oh, I'm the king of Cork City, who the fuck is he?" You know? So
Biggie Tupac shit happening
there, so I was like, alright. But anyway, I got sent screenshots, and Laura was saying, "Did you see this?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I went and searched his name, and I was like, "He's not on TikTok anymore, man." And I was like, because I didn't know what it looked like to be blocked by someone. So she was like, "No, he's definitely fucking on TikTok." So I was like, searched the thing again, and I was like, "He's not." But I was like, "Look, he must have
blocked you." So
yeah, so I was like, "He must have deleted his page." So innocent, like I was like, "He obviously deleted his page." And then she showed me, I was like, "Oh no," I was like, "This fucking dope." And he was saying, basically calling me a fucking dope, whatever, you know, whatever. I wasn't that offended by it, but I was like, alright. So then I did a video on KC's, because he'd taken the Creole out of the rap, and it was falling apart. At the time, no, this is just like something.
I actually remember that,
yeah. So I did a video on KC's, and I was like, if you have any fucking sense about you, if you were worth your while, you'd know how to leave your Creole in. Didn't name anyone, but like it was obvious that. But again, when I was doing this, like he did the comments, so I was like, "Oh, we're gonna have like this thing. It'll work out for both of us. It'll look like
there's no such thing as bad press."
But but he just took it to literally from me making the video, going, "Boys, if you're worth your fucking bacon, if you want to be thick," is actually. I remember I really got under the skin when I was like, "You want to be thick." I wasn't saying in a way like I wasn't trying to upset anybody. Again, as they said, no, there was obviously the potential for somebody getting upset, but I thought it was going to be this like, he said this, he said that, and it both of us
a bit of a slagging match, like
numbers, and like it would work out for both of us. But nah, but he took it so personal. But he was like I said, "You don't know how to eat a rap." The fiend got on walking down the beach, being like, "Here, everyone get onto the girls and fucking ring Tootsla, get this fella's kids taken off, and he's driving his car, and he's the phone out, and his daughter, and all this," and like he was just went straight for it, by. So I was like, "Fuck this fiend," you know, like as in, you're talking about my kids, you're talking about me as a father, you're like, I was like, just went so personal, so fast, you know what I mean? Like, so I was just like, and I only at the time, I don't know why we're talking about this, but I fucking at the time I had about 500 or 600 followers, you know what I mean? So I was like,
well, that probably done great for your following.
Oh, it did brilliant, yeah, obviously, but at the same time, it was I just had this whole different scenario painted in my head, pictured like that it was going to run out, and like he couldn't believe how like territorial he was about TikTok. It's like, "Brother, you realise you're on the fucking internet." I was like, "You first of all, you're copying about 400 heads from the UK, America, Ireland. You know, like you're not the first person to do a food
But
review."
nobody's copying anyone.
Nobody's copying anyone, and that's
my
thing. Like Top Rubber, I know he doesn't do it anymore, but Ordan Kennedy, one of the nicest fellas you'd ever come across. You'd probably know him.
I know Ordan.
Yeah, Ordan.
He's from the north.
Tyrone. Yeah.
I know Ordan well, yeah.
He does.
Is he on social media?
He was Top Rubber IE, but he was doing food reviews around Cork. He was promoting like when he was going to Africa and getting all this money.
I know him very well. I didn't even know he was on
well.
social media.
No, I know him well as well. Not very well. You probably know him better than I would, but Ordan started, and I was like, "Oh, brilliant, by this fella's doing his thing."
And had he a big following?
Nah, a couple of thousand followers. It's obviously huge, but it was a small leader. There was nothing to be embarrassed about. You know? And people knew who he was. No, obviously, whoever you could just tell when he was making a video. I was like, "Oh, this fella's a really nice person. He came across exactly as he is."
Yeah.
And so guys, no problem. Like I love lifting a fellow up. Millennial Dad, when he started doing videos, no, in fairness, this is probably the first time he'll ever hear this, but like at the time I was getting active addiction. Like, you know, like I was paranoid. I was like fucking whatever. And I got onto him, I was like, "Oh, fair play, I starting the thing, we can do a review together." And then I don't know what happened to me, but I was like, oh, everyone's out to get me. I'll go out there and I've got to get a bit. And I don't know why it got that into my head, but I just did. And I never got onto him. So he was probably like, this thing's a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Like, but to me, I was like, and I never explained that to him or anything like that. I didn't feel like I had to either.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I was like that. There you go, Luke. Yeah, fucking
So, and I want to say a shout out to him as well, man.
Oh, he's
'cause
such a lovely
fucking
fella.
sound.
A great thing for
You
him.
know,
And I love everything he does with the comedy, everything.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he really puts himself out there and he does it. He does it very well. Like, he never makes a fucking show of himself. And fair play to him. But yeah, the whole thing with Richie, like, it was just weird to me. Like, I just thought, like, that it was going to be like this back and forth, and then we'd get on, but it just literally just progressed.
And how did it settle in the end?
Settle in the end. Oh well, I just stopped talking about him because I was like, fuck this thing. I was like, he was there. He was I emailed him because he me blocked and everything. I had no choice. But the only way I could get onto him because I was like, I'm not doing this thing online anymore because I was like, he's not going down the route that any normal person in my head would go. Like, I thought again it was going to be jabs, little jabs.
Yeah, and
But
it'd
it
be
was more
fun,
so,
like.
don't try to tear my family apart over a fucking Creole, you fact up. You know what I mean? Leave that in. I can give a shit at this stage. I genuinely like. I've no like. I wouldn't say I have no animosity. Clearly, I do. But like,
I think you definitely have a bit of
100%
animosity,
do,
alright,
but
yeah.
I just again, this is the first time I spoke about anything like this online. But I just like that. He just went the whole nasty route. I was like, alright, fuck it. And so I emailed him. I was like, here, say what you want about me. That's fine. But I was like, don't ever speak about my children again. I was like, and I probably did say something around the lines of, oh, I tell you now,
Yeah.
talk about my kids again and watch what happen, whatever like that, like, you know, but like again, amped up.
Again, when
brand
someone
new
mentions your kids, it's different.
Like, you know what I mean? And like, it's like a tribal fucking.
Like I said, there's a reason why I don't have
your kids on
or my partner.
Yeah, on social media, but I just flip switched or whatever, switch flipped, and I was so new to social media as well at the time, like, so I wasn't used to having fucking thousands upon thousands of people talking about us as well, like, because there was like what you were saying with Twitter earlier on, there was people like who
it was trending and stuff.
Who
yeah,
knew that Man the Munchin versus Richie was the beef that we needed in da 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 and all this, getting thousands upon thousands of likes as well, and that was on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like something that I didn't even have. So like that's the way I was looking at it. I was like, I was just not used to that whole thing. So I was like, email like, here, look, say what you want about me. Couldn't give a fuck. Don't talk about my children. Don't talk about my family. Cross the fucking line. And then his thing was, oh, you want to fucking fight? So yeah, I was like, oh, we'll do an MMA fight. I was like, I'll box you. I was like, I'll actually box you genuinely. So we can do an exhibition thing, whatever, raise money for charity. I'll box you, no problem. I was like, I'm not going into an MMA fight with a fiend that's 6'3" or whatever, about fucking 200 pounds heavier than me. And I was like, no offense to you, like, but you're, at the time, I don't know what condition he's in now, but at the time, he looked unhealthily fat, like, you know, like, as in genuinely not being mean.
I will say one thing. I will say for Richie, I've only met the man once.
Yeah.
And I will say he looked good.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
You know, I will say he looked good.
I don't know him from Adam. Like, I've never seen him in person, like, you know, or anything like that. But I'm just saying.
Really?
Yeah, genuinely, I've never met him. But in, like, at the time, again, like what I was like in this year since I came back on social media after my dad and all this kind of shit, I was nearly 15 stone in December. This morning I jumped on the scales and I'm 12 stone 12 today.
I was going to say you look. I wasn't going to say. I was going to say you. No, I was going to say you look trimmer in person.
No, I appreciate that, but no, it's literally like I was disgustingly overweight, and I know that one at the time when I'm saying Richie looked very unhealthy. He was, because he was doing lots of food reviews, just like as I was before I took a break.
So I told you, no, I'm probably going to lose loads of viewers on this now by moving away from the Richie thing.
Go on, yeah.
I could milk the shit out of it and get more, but there is questions I do want to ask you, right? And I know that Steve wants us to finish up, right? I have two questions.
Sorry, Steve.
You're grand. I have two questions, right?
Go on.
The first one is the question everyone always asks, right? And my old lad always said it, you know, and it's, how are they not fucking tick fat from all the food reviews?
Because I'm not a fucking idiot, basically, and like I like if I'm getting food. So right now I'm doing Munch on Monday, so I get one munch a week, and it's just on a Monday I might eat the food on Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Like I might get food over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, myself and Laura. But like I'll post on that Monday after. Usually 9 times.
So it's just one takeaway a week.
One takeaway a week. Whereas before, like as I said, like the start of the year, I was like just just shy of
banging
15
out
stone,
content, like,
banging out 4 reviews a week, eating everything that I got. You know, like, as in, whereas now, like,
it wasn't just for the taste.
yeah,
For
whereas now, like, no, if I like, I got a thing down in the goal post. I only posted it last
yeah, I
night.
seen it, the burger, the Hennessy burger, was it?
The Jameson burger.
Oh, the
and
Jameson
fucking,
burger, yeah.
But it's the chips, cheese, and curry
It
with
looked
the
nice,
garlic
yeah.
by that, like.
I can't get my head around that one.
Do you know what? Go there or go to the Air Burger in the castle and do it there.
That's in Glanmire, that's only up
That's,
the road
yeah,
for me, yeah.
do that and then tell me that you can't do it anymore. And again, here by
Curry and garlic.
it's just from there. Like,
Okay,
no,
fair
I've got
enough,
Luciano's is lethal as well. They have this thing that, but no, I hate their, like.
I don't like their pizzas.
I don't like their pizzas either, but I got one. It was the taco pizza, and I'll say this straight out, one of the nicest pizzas I've had in a long time. But then what the thing is, like, when I got it at the moment, was half an hour later when you pick it up, it's too greasy underneath.
Yeah.
There's not enough sauce. But when it was hot, it was beautiful. The chips, cheese, and curry with the garlic as well was unreal. Sorry, Steve is eager beaver to get out here, he'd say. But in terms of the food, yeah, I just eat like 2-3 bites of the burger, have my few fucking plates of the chip, and then I watch the dogs. And every night, like in work, what I do for a job, I do about 25,000-30,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you're dropping, yeah. What's the best restaurant in Cork? County as well now, including, because like I think Scoozy's is my favourite in town.
No, my favourite in town is probably Good Hood in St. Luke's, across from Henshey's.
Is that the place that does the sandwiches?
I don't know if it does sandwiches. No, this gaff now does, like, I got beef cheek inside there. It's
I've seen that video.
Oh,
I haven't been. I'd have to try that.
Believable. And then Son of a Bun would be right
I'm
there
going
with
there
it as
after
well.
this.
Right there with it. So if I was to pick between the two in just Cork, like city, I'd be looking at the two of them. If we're going the whole county, brother, fuck me. I don't know, it's a tough one, and you know what? A lot of these places like just kind of meld into one place. Like when I'm eating it on the moment, I'm like, oh yeah, this is unreal. I'll never forget about this. And like you forget it, like it just becomes another food review. You know what I mean? Because I've eaten in so many places. But I do, Joanne, I really enjoy Pacelli as well, man.
Pacelli's class.
I've
been there twice now, yeah.
Beautiful. Like, and I've eaten
it's
off my own
there. Yeah.
I've had a bit off Laura's, and like both of them perfectly on par and completely different meals. So I think Pacelli used to be the ovens out in ovens, but it's gone to shit.
Yeah.
Absolute dog. You know what? Actually, May Fitz's is fucking unbelievable.
I will
vote for
May
Fitz's.
I was kind of rare than May Fitz's because I'm from Macroom.
Yeah.
Right? And Macroom, my first job when I got clean was in May Fitz's.
Wow.
Washing plates down the back as a kitchen porter. May Fitz's is one of the best roast beef dinners you'll get anywhere.
That's I
will also say I think the best carvery in Cork is Murphy's Rock.
I've only gotten it once, and it was before I was ever doing food reviews. So I should go back and give it back.
I'm telling you now, go in and try it. I was only there a couple of weeks ago.
Was your man that was involved?
Ian Rush. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian Rush went off with his old lad.
Yeah. But no, wasn't your man that was involved as well? But remember that crash? This probably will be.
Oh no.
Was
that was the Bairn.
Was that the Bairn? Was it? Oh, okay, I wasn't sure.
I think so.
We won't go into any more
I'm not touching that one.
Yeah, no, not at all.
But
cut it out. But I thought it was Murphy's Rock.
Maybe so. No, I think maybe you're right. Actually, was it? I don't know. Look, we won't. But I think the Elm Tree is the best place in Cork.
The Elm Tree is really nice as well. But you know what? I've gotten I'm living in Glanmire, so like Clowntown is all around. We've gone down there a few times, and I have to say it back. I've gone in there and I've had some of the nicest meals ever, but I've gone in there and I've had a few meals where it's been enough below par that I'm like, okay, you cannot be considered one of the best.
I've never had a bad meal out of there, and I've been there a lot. Like I've gotten quite a few. I think their chicken wings are next level.
Yeah, no, the chicken wings are not fair enough, but I'm on about just the carvery.
I've never had the carvery there.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I thought we were talking carvery, not a case. See, that's insane. The carvery is very hit and miss inside there. That's my problem. Is like I've gone in there and I've had meals where, like you said, there the chicken wings. You might get a burger, you might do this, and beautiful, nice bit of meat. Really,
they are restaurant food. I think
perfectly
is the best.
done. But then you could get like I've gotten the carvery down there, and what annoys me is that how inconsistent it is. I've gone in there and I've gotten beautiful, beautiful beef. Like, you literally fall and melt in your mouth. And then I've gone down there 3 weeks later. It's not like it doesn't change the staff or anything like that. And it's just like, as dry as a nun's cunt. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, what am I eating? Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah, like I said,
And
I've
you can't even
never
say
had.
gravy, you know what I mean?
I've never, but again, like we were just on about the Barn. Like I think the Barn's carvery is nice,
No, the Baron is disgusting, man.
but their bar food is unedible. Like
The Baron is disgusting.
I like
What's
see.
up with all you old people that work in the Baron as well? No offense here. Look, there's clearly not being ageist or anything like that. But I've never seen so many women that are in their 70s and 80s. No offense to you girls if you're younger. Working in a bar or restaurant like that, like it's there's something going on. Like it
I
looks
don't
like
know.
they're-
I tell you the truth, right?
it looks like they're trafficking all hands, and they're like, "You're going to be a grandmother in Tokar. You're going to be a grandmother." They're just getting rid of them.
I used to go to the Barn with my friend every Monday
Yeah,
because most places don't do a carvery in the evening.
yeah.
So-
On the carvery, you go up to the Wilton Bar. The Wilton Bar, unreal. No, that's a nice carvery.
Do you know what? I'm thinking of the Bishopstown Bar actually.
No, not the Bishop's
I
Bar, the Wilton
haven't
Bar,
had
like
the
road.
carvery out there, I'd say, in about 20 years.
Yeah, give it a bash, brother.
But their breakfasts, when Lisa was having Danny last year,
Yeah,
after every appointment we used to
go over
go,
and get
their
some brekkie.
breakfasts are nice. But
beautiful.
now it just reminds me of fucking the
Yeah,
CU
bro.
age, you know.
Fun sitting down and seeing
Right.
them.
Come here, the last question now, because Steve's trying to kick us out the door.
Sorry, Steve.
The last question, right? If you have, like, we covered a lot of topics there, right? If there's anyone watching, right, who might be struggling with, because you've kind of covered a lot in your life, mental health, addiction, being fucked from social media, if they're struggling to get along, what's your advice to them? What would you tell them to do?
Genuinely, my advice is go for a walk. Like, as in, talk to your friends, go for a walk. Fucking just don't take everything so seriously. Like, you know, there's a lot, like as I said there was a couple of things that I touched on today that there were moments where I was like, I'm never going to come back from this. Like, I couldn't, like what I was going to say a while ago, there were moments in my life, there were periods, not moments, there was full periods in my life where I was like, I'm never going to get away from where I am right now today. And now again, it's not like I'm fucking multi-millionaire or anything like that, but where I am in my head is just it's just the complete polar opposite where I thought I would be. And my advice would be literally just don't take yourself so seriously. Sit down and listen to other people's advice. Take from other people what you can, like what you were saying in the meetings, and leave what you don't need, what's unnecessary, and just be open to change.
Well then, thanks very much, bye.
No panic, John.
Cheers, bye, lads. Don't forget to drop a follow, subscribe on YouTube and Spotify, and if you're into food reviews as well, or just the usual shit talk,
Usual shit talk.
give Man and a Munchin and TikTok a follow.
Appreciate you,
Stay
lads.
fresh, lads.
Be good.